Hello there. How art we all? How are we all today? The little puffer is just sat here. He's enjoying himself. What are the chances of there being of the guy like Ultra Shadow in the Discord? I mean, probably. I don't know. Could very well happen. Alright, so we got the video ready, just setting things up. Hey Nico, how you doing, buddy? Oh, Nico, sorry. We should start calling you Nicholas, then I might actually remember that your S is not silent. Yes, we've got a couple of videos up. So yes, how's everyone doing? Hey Banco, how you doing? We're gonna react to Harmon Smith a lot this stream. I mean, possibly. There are a few videos that I wanted to... There are a couple of videos that I wanted to look at. The first one was this. So for context, if you guys don't know what, like, the PS5 Pro is, basically... I mean, the thumbnail is a giveaway. It's basically a video games console that was charged for $700. And keep in mind as well, it's 700 of every native currency, or the equivalent anyways. And you gotta keep in mind that that doesn't include the disc tray, which is an additional $80. And since it doesn't account for exchange rates, basically, depending on where you live in the world, it will cost you the equivalent of 800, 900, close to $1,000 US, depending on exchange rates. Us in Europe, or the UK specifically, actually has it worse. Yeah, so for us, it's basically like, oh, you want to buy an Xbox? Well, you have to spend like, what, 400, 500 pounds? PlayStation 5 Pro, you're basically spending the equivalent of £700. And the problem with that is, from what I've seen at least, it's really not worth it. So, I mean, we're gonna go into it, I guess. So there was one video that I wanted to watch first of all from this. PC gamers don't understand the PS5 Pro. I have a couple of things on my bar, so... Is theater mode the best one? I can't remember. I'm assuming it's theater mode, right? Also, I'll stream this in Discord just so people can see. Just in case anyone wants to join. But yeah, so with that being said, let's get this started. Oh, I think I've... Hold on. Did I already skip ahead?
In a title card on my videos. Other components of your PC, or how...
Shut up and take my money!
5 reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I remember, like, fast-forwarding ahead. So, basically, it's 5 reasons why PC gamers don't understand the PS5 Pro, PlayStation 5 Pro versus PC. Also, in the background, I think...
Why?
Hold on. I think in the background, I'll just keep Sky's music playing. You can buy an Xbox Series... I guess you saw my introductory statement. I actually didn't know. You can buy an Xbox Series X with a disc drive for half the price of the PS5 Pro. Yeah, it's fucking insane. I mean, the PS5 Pro, like, on paper at least, it's the most powerful gaming console ever made. Like, it is better than the Series X, and it's better than the PS5. I mean, that stands to reason, but at the very least, they nailed the minimum requirements for a Pro console, I guess. But the problem is that it just doesn't play games at, like, a fantastic standard. So we'll get into this.
PC gamers just don't understand the PS5 Pro or the appeal of the PS5 Pro or why anyone would want to buy or even consider buying a PS5 Pro.
Shut up and take my money!
As opposed to...
I mean, we know why we're not going to buy a PS5 Pro. It's because it's not worth it.
Just investing in a PC. And number 1 is friction. No, not that kind of friction, you degenerates.
Pretty shit joke, though. Yeah, he's a relatively new YouTuber, so I'd recommend increasing your humor there, so...
I mean, the kind of...
Hello, Echo.
Friction where, you know, you install the game and then you're messing around with, you know, video drivers and other drivers for your, you know, other components of your PC.
When the you don't need to do that. Like, that's such a misconception about PC gaming, where, like, you have to, like, mess around with your drivers or what have you. It's like, from my perspective at least, I can just install games the exact same way as how you would on console. You go to the marketplace, you find the game you want, you purchase it if you need to buy it, or you just download it if it's free to play. It downloads, and you play it. Like, the process is exactly the same on PC as it is on console. Like, this is something that console fanboys always, like, say, and it's not even true.
Or how about dialing in the best PC settings for a particular game? How many threads have you read online of people asking for the best settings to run a particular game?
I've not looked at any threads online because that would be fucking stupid, since the only person who knows my PC specs is me.
You know, that sort of thing. I've lost count. Compatibility, you know, going to websites like, you know, will it run it? You know, or can I run it? Whatever that website is. There's a website where you can go and you can, you know, type in the game and it'll, you know, run some benchmarks on your system and determine...
Or you could just have a general knowledge of what your PC is going to give you when you purchase it. Like, funnily enough, when you buy PCs nowadays, like, I got mine on Amazon, and there was actually a chart of, like, some of the most popular games at the time, like Elden Ring, Grand Theft Auto 5, Fortnite, Warzone, etc. And it actually gives you, like, a predicted FPS for that specific rig. So, like, you kind of already know going in what your PC is gonna get you. In the same way that you would know going in what a console would give you. So, little awkward.
And, like, you know, can you run this game or can you not run this game? Like, I just can't be bothered. I just, you know, I want to be able to, you know...
Skill issue, you get better.
Go to the store or, you know, go online and download a digital copy of a game and know that it's just going to work for my system. The console...
The funny thing is that it's not even guaranteed to run on the PS5 Pro. And you can also get games that don't meet the performance standards. Like, what? The PlayStation 5 Pro is like, what, 120 FPS in fidelity mode and then 60 FPS in graphics mode? I guarantee you're not guaranteed that.
experience offers more ease of use, free of fiddling around with settings. The experience is just smoother because, you know.
Also, on PC, you can literally... We have graphics presets. Like, low, medium, high, extreme. Like, how is this a slam dunk?
The devs, when they're developing the game, you know, they can dial in those settings that are tuned to the machine, and
if that's the case, then why the fuck do we have shitty performance metrics on console? Like, if they can like dial in performance metrics specifically for that hardware, then why the fuck do games consistently not take advantage of the hardware? Why the fuck can't we play Spider-Man 2 in 120 FPS? Like, little awkward.
In this case, it's the console. Like, they already know the architecture of the console.
If they know the architecture, then why the fuck aren't they taking advantage of it?
What it can handle, how does it perform, so on and so forth.
If that's the case, then why don't we get performance metrics accurate to what we were promised?
Give you an example. So I am a big From Software fan, as you can see.
This is reminding me of Crysis's stream where he responded to Danko's video about his response to the hate he's been getting. Wait, has Danko actually made that video? I may have to actually check that. Hold on. My response to the hate? I might actually have to look at that. That's interesting.
Of course, Elden Ring is, you know, the biggest game that they've made to date. And when that title launched on all platforms, and even for Shadow of the Erdtree, like the DLC expansion,
fucking fantastic game, by the way. If you guys haven't played it, like, fucking play Elden Ring.
PC, even on like top of the line rigs, for many people, ran like, you know, PP doo-doo.
Yes, there were a couple of optimization issues on the PC port of Elden Ring. Those issues were quickly ironed out, and the PC version is now 100% the definitive way to experience Elden Ring. But you're also going to conveniently skirt around the issue that the PlayStation 5 the PlayStation 5 version and the Xbox Series X version ran like complete shit on console. Like, it was actually better to play the PS4 and Xbox One version on the next-gen consoles. Because, yeah, you wouldn't have, like, as good, like, graphics, but you'd be guaranteed 60 FPS. Because it was less demanding. Like, stands to reason. So, little awkward.
There were some situations for very well-known streamers that I follow, where they weren't...
There were situations for well-known streamers I follow. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna name any, though. I kinda just don't believe you.
Able to run the game optimally on their top-of-the-line PC, whereas on my PS5, you know, I had no issues at all. I had a great time just out of the gate, and I didn't have a lot of, like, the stuttering and the...
Like, the way that he's acting as though the game was unbeatable or, like, unplayable on PC. Like, it wasn't. And it's actually pretty fucking funny that he's talking about this, since the first time that I played Elden Ring was on the Xbox One. Like, the original Xbox One, because that's what I had at the time. And the game didn't run all that well. Like, the last-gen version on last-gen consoles didn't play that well. Now, when I played the last-gen version on the Series X, yeah, it was smooth as a baby's arse. But it still didn't look great in comparison to what was promised. And especially what was on PC. So, a little awkward. Especially since my current PC runs Elden Ring with no issues at all. So, again, it's kind of like the Arkham Knight argument. Yes, on launch it was broken. It now isn't, and it's now the definitive version of that game is on PC. It's like Cyberpunk. Yes, on launch that game was broken. Years later, it's now a masterpiece.
You know, the other sorts of issues that PC gamers were dealing with at the time. On to number 2.
the other issues that PC gamers were experiencing at the time. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna name any.
Experience. A desk versus the living room.
Are you fucking serious, dude? We're seriously still doing the desk versus living room argument? Like, you can put a PC in your living room. You can hook up a console to your desk. Like, how are we still here? How are we still making these arguments?
My console
When I come
is
home
literally
from
on my
work-
desk.
After
Yeah, my fucking Series X used to be, like, right next to me on my desk when I used to, like, stream games on my Series X. Like,
a long day and a long commute, I don't want to sit at a desk. I just don't want to do it.
okay, that's fine. You don't have to. Just don't put your PC at a desk. Problem solved.
And so another benefit.
Bro, I had very minimal issues with Scarlet and Violet at launch. I acknowledge it was rough at the start, but it gets better over time. Well, it's actually interesting, because with Elden Ring specifically, the reason why people were having issues with the game on launch is because the first area of the game, Limgrave, wasn't very well optimized. It was a strange thing with the game. Like, once you moved past the first area, the game ran like clockwork. Like, it was an issue with the game specifically, and it was an issue that everyone experienced. Like, for whatever reason, it was the first area of the game that just, like, there was a weird bug or what have you, where the game just ran like shit for the very first area, but once you move past that area, which you can do in, like, fucking 10 minutes, like, it doesn't even matter. Also, for the people who've been wondering, I turned off the face cam just because I didn't want it to be obtrusive.
Benefit of the living room. I like a big screen. I have a beautiful 65-inch OLED TV.
65-inch OLED TV. I guarantee you he's gonna complain that PC gaming is too expensive. Meanwhile, he has a 65-inch OLED TV. How the fuck? How big actually is 65-inch? Like, I want to see like a 65-inch TV. Like,
Hello.
oh, Phoenix.
Hello.
I'm actually curious. Let's Google this. Hold on.
Oh, and by the way, you're using my idea. Yes.
What do you mean, my idea?
I stream with no face cam.
I'm trying to like visualize just how fucking massive a 65-inch TV is. Wait, hold on. I got it. Also, I've just broken my fucking PC. Bear with me a sec.
I mean, I have a 65-inch TV.
Well, I got it. So, you play games on this fucking thing. I guarantee he's gonna complain that, like, PC gaming is too expensive. Meanwhile, he games on a fucking View Cinema looking screen. So, a little awkward.
I'll tell you what,
depends,
guys.
'cause it's a
If
4K
you've never
TV, but at the same
gamed
time, though, it's
on
like
an
one of those things where
OLED
it's like, eh.
TV, you just don't know what you're missing.
But what is he
You know,
talking
once
about?
you've experienced OLED, it's very hard to go back. When you
Okay, it's almost as if PC has OLED monitors. Like, this isn't a slam dunk at all. And it's like, if you wanted to, it's all HDMI cables anyways. Like, you can connect your PC to your TV.
Yeah.
Like, you can connect... Like, how is this a W?
game on a big television set, like a big, beautiful
Hold on.
OLED TV,
Fucking
still hear
can't
me?
wait.
it's
Can't wait for this
cinematic.
game in January. It's gonna be awesome.
Wait, can you guys hear
kick
me?
back-
I can,
Yeah.
I'm just ignoring you. Sorry.
Okay, I was trying to make sure. Sorry about that. You're all good.
Hey, Chelsea, how you doing? I play games on a 65-inch. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, you can play, like, your PC, like you can play PC in a living room. You can play console in at a desk. Like, I don't know why this is a slam dunk argument.
back. You're sitting away from the TV. You're lounging on the
is gonna
couch
be a
or
weird stream for
in
me.
your favorite
Why?
chair, and you can just enjoy the game. It's different
yes.
than sitting in a computer chair.
It's
No,
different.
it's not.
Wait, hold on. It's different than sitting at a computer chair. Meanwhile, he's recording a video at a desk. So, a little awkward. Also, if you're uncomfortable with your chair, why don't you just get a better one?
Unless if your gaming throne happens to be a very expensive like Herman Miller.
I mean, you can get comfortable gaming chairs for like less than £100. Like, and they last a long time as well, assuming that you're not a fat ass.
I can't play a video game for more than 2 hours, at a computer chair. Whereas in the living room, I can have long sessions.
Okay, so move your PC into your living room. Like, it's all HDMI. Like, you realize how this works, right?
4 or 5.
Also, you can't see Puffer. Hold on, I'll fix that.
Oh, you don't need to. You might crash my PC.
This is an experiment. I apologize if the experiment no longer works. Bear me a sec. Bear me.
Here's the thing: as a person that doesn't use face cam,
Oh shit, I've done that wrong.
I love not using face cam.
That didn't work as well as I was expecting, but it kind of worked. We'll just pop him there. There we go.
As a person that doesn't use face cam,
The problem is that he's right next to my mouse. It's a bit awkward. Alright, you'll just see the bottom of my hand there. It's fine.
5, 6, 7 hours. Easy. It's, because you have more ability to relax and immerse yourself in the experience.
Again, this is just a nothing point. First of all, this is entirely subjective, because I can play games at my desk for 6 hours with no issue. So this is entirely subjective. And second of all, there's an easy fix to your solution, so this is a no point.
And so, on the subject of, OLED monitors, yeah, there are a couple. I can get one of those MSI OLED monitors for roughly $600-700 in some cases for a 27-inch. Why would I want to settle for 27-inch OLED and still have to sit at a desk?
Or you could just not do that? Question mark.
like there's an easy
Puffer's
way.
pretty cute. Yeah, Puffer's adorable. I just can't seem to get like a good angle for him without like the bottom of my fucking fat ass hand just at the bottom of the camera.
And
We're
then
not
many
zooming
of
in.
those monitors have issues with text clarity. So while they may be great for gaming, they may be terrible for other things, such as multitasking. So in terms of experience, desk versus the living room, a desktop versus the couch, I think it largely depends on what type of...
Can you not just hook up a PC to a massive TV? Yeah, of course you can. It's all HDMI cables. Yeah, you can do that.
It just
gamer you are.
depends on where you want to put everything.
I think if you play very twitchy games such as...
You should have a stand for Puffer. Yeah, I should get him like a throne.
Overwatch or Call of Duty or Fortnite, and you like to have Discord up, on the side, and you're chatting with your friends on Discord, and you're multitasking and that sort of thing, a PC is great for you.
So a PC is better if you want to have two... You just destroyed your own narrative.
But for me, I
whole entire book
play
just got destroyed because of that,
single-player, narrative-heavy games.
Oh, so you're just blatantly admitting that you're a PlayStation fanboy. I play narrative, story-based, single-player games. So, basically every PlayStation exclusive, question mark? Assuming that they are exclusive, because let's be honest, they're gonna come to PC before long.
Very cinematic.
I mean, Death Stranding
titles
just went to
such
Xbox
as
recently,
Death
so
Stranding, or Horizon, or The
Death Stranding's on Xbox, Horizon's on PC.
Last of Us, or
Last of Us is also on PC.
Uncharted.
Last of Us is also
And
on
for
PC.
those
Uncharted
types
is
of
also on PC. That game's
experiences, I
big.
feel like
And
I'm
Spider-Man 2 is coming to PC in January, so little awkward.
missing out on something.
And by his own logic, PC is better if you want to experience games at higher frame rates whilst multitasking with like Discord and shit. So, by his own logic, we can play PlayStation exclusives at a better quality than he can whilst also multitasking. So, a little awkward.
On a desktop, I feel like I am more immersed in the experience when I'm in my living room, the way I would be if I was watching a movie.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Just move the fucking PC then.
I would hate to play these games at a desk. Point number three. Point number three is, I'm sorry guys, but the PS5 Pro is still
I'm
cheaper.
confused.
What was that?
Wait.
Point number three is, I'm sorry guys, but the PS5 Pro is still cheaper
Oh, I have gotta hear this.
than a PC. Let me explain. Because I know this is a
You don't have the stand with it. You don't have the
divisive
disk
topic.
drive.
To put it into context,
You're
the
being forced to pay
PlayStation 5 Pro,
$800.
by itself, like, not including the TV you need, or the games, or the PlayStation subscription services, the PlayStation 5 Pro, by itself, for me at least, hold on.
I think it should be 700.
For me at least, it cost me the equivalent of nearly 1,000 US dollars. My entire PC setup, so not just the rig, but the keyboard, the mouse, the headset, the monitor, all of it, was around 1,300 US dollars. Which is certainly more, but you've got to keep in mind it was an all-in-one purchase. Especially since the main argument that people give for console gaming is, oh, it's cheaper up front. But with the PlayStation 5 Pro, that's not even the case anymore. Since obviously games are more expensive, you have to pay to play your games online, games, like, you have worse sales, and you're also just generally getting less for your money. You're getting less games, you're getting more expensive games, you're running games at a worse quality, you don't have access to mod support, or emulation, or fan games, you don't have access to any of that. So, really, what are you paying for?
Even at the 700.
And even if you were dead set on getting a console, just get the PlayStation 5, since it's like, what, $200 cheaper? And everything is included. Like, you don't have to pay additional for the discs, for the disc tray or what have you. Like,
Yeah, but everybody wants to pay for that disc though, so it's kind of.
like it's
Well, not everybody,
just...
but like with the Pro, it's. Yeah.
He's moved himself. He's now up there. It's just, there is
$100.
literally no value in... And there's another video we're gonna watch where someone's saying that the PlayStation 5 Pro is a better value than the PC, which we're gonna watch that as well. The PC can act as a console in the living room, so I don't know what his problem is. I have the best of both worlds. I can play PC at my desk whilst laying on my bed. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can just get creative with your setup. Like, who cares? Like, just hook a wired or a wireless controller up to your PC. Problem solved. You can play it while in bed.
Price point.
I'm in no rush for a PS5, but I'd agree, just get the regular. You don't need the Pro. Yeah, especially since, like, we're gonna watch a couple of videos, but, like, the PlayStation 5 Pro isn't even guaranteed to get you the performance metrics that the original PlayStation 5 promised. So,
Another
the
thing
fuck's the
too
point?
is, I would also like to point out another thing too. At least this is why no one asks for a PS5 Pro and remakes and remasters, even though I have two of them.
The value package is
Well,
still
technically.
easier on the wallet.
I like how the camera is, like, showing a better... the camera is literally showing Puffer at a better quality than it shows me.
The PC. Sure, you can save a lot of money on
Well, on OBS it is anyways. I don't know what it's like on the stream. That is as high quality a Puffer as you're ever gonna get.
Steam, especially with their crazy Steam sales, and all of that is well and good.
So you acknowledge that Steam has better sales because of competing marketplaces, yet somehow the PlayStation 5 Pro is cheaper.
But if you want to get a comparable value package to the PS5, you're going to have to build that PC yourself.
I mean, not necessarily. Like, you can get a pre-built PC for, like, what, $900? Which is, like, almost as good, if not equal, to the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah, it should be.
Like my PC, for example, has a graphics card that, as far as I'm aware at least, I've tried doing some research, the PlayStation 5 Pro is comparable to like a 3060 Ti. Like, my PC has a 4070. So, significant upgrade for almost the same price.
Wait, but wouldn't a 3090 be better?
Huh?
Wouldn't a 3090 Ti be better
Then what?
than your 4070?
No.
But it's a 3090 though.
Yeah, no. The 40 series is better. It kind of like goes up by that. Like, I think the 4090 is like the best card. It was the best card available when I got my PC anyways.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And if you disagree with that, let me know. And when
Yeah, I do disagree.
you do build it yourself, you're likely going to have to make some compromises in order to get it to a similar price point. And pre-built PCs, you've got to rule those out altogether because a pre-built is going to cost you even more than if you were to buy the component.
I mean, not really. Like, a pre-built PC... First of all, there's nothing wrong with pre-built PCs. Like, I don't know where he's even getting this.
Separately and build the PC yourself. And don't forget, the cost of all of those components together don't include some other things like the cost of the operating system.
But we don't pay for operating systems, you twit. They're just included naturally. That's like saying you have to pay for Google. Like, it's bullshit.
And other incidental
Just imagine if we have to
costs
pay for
that
Google at one point.
Oh, that doesn't include all of the incidental costs. Meanwhile, you're just glossing over the fact that the fucking disc tray doesn't even come included in the $700 price point.
That's
the
the
cheapest
one thing that everybody's like, it doesn't make sense.
Like, you have to... It's not like the fucking... It's
Like,
not
you
like
have to pay for the
it's
disc
not like the
drive separately.
PlayStation 5 Slim, where it's cheaper, but the trade-off is you're not getting the disc drive. No, this thing is way more expensive, and it doesn't even give you the disc drive by default.
And it also doesn't give you the stand.
Like, mind-blowing.
need in order to get that PC up and running. And God help you if you happen to be inexperienced with building a PC. If you do,
I mean, it's not rocket science. Like, if you can put Legos together, you can put a PC together, because everything has its own slot. Like, funnily enough, the big flat thing goes in the motherboard section. Like, there's square segments for the fans. Like, it's not rocket science.
do one thing wrong, like maybe it's simple, I don't know, I've never done it myself.
Oh, so you've never done it yourself? Well, how the hell would you know if it's simple or not?
But even little things like say like dealing with thermal paste, like I know that, you know, that is a
Thermal paste. So you unironically think that gluing things together is hard. You just...
He just destroyed his whole entire point.
The PC gamers just don't understand the PlayStation 5 Pro. Meanwhile, glue. Glue is difficult.
delicate thing, like it's very easy to put too much or not enough, and
Skill issue, get better.
you know, maybe that's just one example. You may
No, it quite literally is one example. Like, you didn't bring up another example. Like,
have installed a component incorrectly. It could be anything. Good luck trying to figure out what you did wrong once it's all together. Then you're pulling the whole thing apart and troubleshooting. And maybe I'm overcomplicating it.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Let me know down in the comments. But I'll tell you what, as someone who deals with constant anxiety in my life,
You're probably gonna deal with some more.
I don't even want to deal with that. I just don't.
You don't need a PC, get a good PC. Heck, you can get a PC worth $1,500 that will last for 2 console generations of gaming. Probably even longer if you take good care of it. Like, you swap out parts when you need to make some upgrades. Like, it's really not that bad.
One final point on the cost.
It's also pretty funny that he's talking about the cost. Like, if you wanted to upgrade from the PlayStation 5 Pro, you're having to spend like $700 for like a brand new console. Because you can't just swap out pieces when you want to. Like, no, you have to buy an entirely new console. Compare that to the PC, where you can literally upgrade the individual components. You don't need to buy a brand new PC every time you want to upgrade.
Right.
So, again, a little awkward.
I know me. I have no self-control. None at all. If I were to go down the road of building myself a PC, I would want the best of the best that I could build at the time that I build it. I'd be tempted.
Okay, and what's... like, that's literally just a you problem. Like, that's not a fault against PC as a whole. And the funny thing is that if you were to buy a top-of-the-range PC, it would solo the PS5 Pro, so... again, like, what are you trying to prove here?
To spend way more than the cost of a PS5 Pro to build my custom PC. Reason number 4.
I'd also like to point out as well that he didn't mention once that with the PC, it's the only gaming platform that you don't need to pay to play your games online. So... shows how much effort you put into this. Why does he look like Sam Smith? Lol, I don't know. I've just realised he's got a QR code on his jacket. One of you guys should scan it, it'll take you to Pornhub. Every day is a disagreement day, yeah, facts. Wanting the best means you have to constantly improve.
Portability. Now I know what you're thinking. Who the hell is porting around their PS5?
Wait, hold on. Did you just say portability? PC solos in this regard. Laptops, tablets, the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally. Like, this is a slam dunk point for PC. How the hell is it a point for PlayStation? If you're gonna bring up the PlayStation Portal, I'm gonna throw that argument back in your face.
But getting down to brass tacks,
I would say it's because the portable.
If I want to move my PS5
to
another room in the house and put it on another TV or do whatever, it's very easy for me to do that. Good luck doing that with a PC.
I mean, it would be more difficult with a PC, but it wouldn't be impossible. Like, my PC's heavy, but I can still lift it. Like, how the hell is that an argument?
If I'm traveling, like say to a relative's or I'm on a trip, maybe staying in a hotel, and I want to bring my PS5 with me, if I really want to, I can do that. As cumbersome as that may be, it's not nearly as much trouble as it would be moving around a PC.
Okay, that's actually the first good point you've made, yes. PlayStation 5 is smaller and it's less heavy than a PC, so if you wanted to move it from place to place or travel around the country with it, it would be less cumbersome. But what about the other ways that you can play PC games, like the Steam Deck, which is basically just a portable PS5 Pro, PS4 Pro? Or what about the ROG Ally, which is literally a portable PS5? Like, again, little awkward.
Okay, so...
And unlike the PS5, you don't need a TV, or a remote, or physical games. It's all just ready for you. Like, the ROG Ally... the ROG Ally is literally the solution to your troubles.
So, like, say...
This video is not sponsored.
Say you don't want to move the PS5 around, but you still want to enjoy some portability. That's why you have the PlayStation Portal. That's exactly who the PlayStation Portal is for.
For context, for the people who don't know, in order to use the PlayStation in order to use the PlayStation Portal, you already need to own the PS5 because it's a companion piece. It's not its own device. It is like an additional add-on to the PS5. So if you don't own a PlayStation 5, then the PlayStation Portal is quite literally useless.
It used to be when it launched that you had to be on the same Wi-Fi connection.
And again, you're perfectly happy using a device that looks like the Steam Deck, just get a Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is better in every single way to the PlayStation Portal.
It's your PlayStation 5, but no more. You can
You
now,
gotta
with
know,
the
though,
PlayStation
PC's
Portal,
the master race, though.
you know, go across the country. If you don't believe me, there are video demonstrations of people doing just that very thing. Now, on the PC side of things, you have the Steam Deck, and Steam Deck is all well and fine, but Steam Deck
is objectively better in every way to the PlayStation Portal. Like, aside from the fact that it's maybe more expensive, like the upfront cost, but like, the product you're getting is 100% worth the money, and also it's going to be cheaper in the long run. So, again, like, you're just kind of glossing over the Steam Deck, even though it's objectively better.
Deck is not compatible with every PC game. There's a compatibility list, and you know, some of them have compromises or just plain don't run. I tried to play V Rising on the Steam Deck, didn't work. With the PlayStation Portal,
I love it when console guys do that. Oh, I tried doing this thing. It didn't work. Moving on. It's like, what, you didn't try fixing it yourself? You were just like, okay, this game doesn't work, let me just move on with my life. Like, the thing with the Steam Deck is that you can actually modify the properties of the game, so that even if they're not compatible with the device, you can still make it compatible. All it takes is, like, 5 minutes of effort. Like, there have been games on the PlayStation 5... there have been games on the Steam Deck, like, emulated games or what have you, that were quite literally, like, incompatible. Like, they would not work. But I was messing around with the settings and I made them work. Like, yeah, it's stupid that I had to do that myself. Like, it's stupid that Steam didn't make him just compatible, like, in general. But the point is that it's possible. So, again, like, there's a solution to your problem and you're just not taking it. And you're also getting around, you're also ignoring the real fact that there's like, what, 15,000 games that work really well on Steam Deck? So, again, like, little awkward.
I can play any game that's in my library. These days, I play my PlayStation games digitally.
Yes, you can play any game in your library, and that's the point. You already have to own a PlayStation 5. Like, if you don't own a PlayStation 5, then the PlayStation Portal is quite literally useless. At that point, it's literally just a doorstop.
So even if I don't have the game in my console, matter of fact,
I've seen people emulate PlayStation 2 games on the Steam Deck. Yeah, I do it all the time. I've emulated Sonic Heroes, Sonic Unleashed. Like, it's really not that hard.
In fact, I can't because I have the PS5 digital edition. If I'm...
Steam Deck is way better than Switch on performance side of things. Yeah, the Steam Deck is also objectively better to the Nintendo Switch in every way. Aside from, like, maybe price of entry. But again, like, it's cheaper in the long term, and you're getting an objectively better product, so who cares?
far away from home and I want to play that game, I can just download it to the console remotely through the portal. Bananas.
That's not bananas. Like, you can do that with a Steam Deck.
And so reason number 5, and this one, from many people's perspective, may be the most dumb. And you may even...
I've just noticed, he has the freaking PlayStation 5 buttons here. I've just noticed. It's so clear that... Oh, and he's also got a Switch and stuff as well.
Wait, so if that's the case, then... why is he complaining?
be laughing to your...
Spider-Man 2 mods are going to be crazy for sure. Yeah, I'm going to mod MJ to look like Gwen Stacy, because why not?
Or...
The actual cost of the PS5, the PlayStation Portal is $500 plus $250, $750, which is more than the fucking PlayStation 5 Pro. Yeah, and it's also like $200 more than a Steam Deck. So...
yourself, because you may think all the other things that I've said thus far are dumb, and that's all well and fine.
Yes.
You know, I don't care. These are just my opinions. I'm not throwing shade.
Well, technically, the
at
actual
anyone.
price is like $800 if you want a disc drive.
I'm not throwing shade. The title says PC gamers don't understand the PS5 Pro. No shade, though. No shade being thrown. No. He's just your friendly neighborhood console gamer.
I'm not over here trying to sell anyone on the PS5 Pro.
You're not trying to sell anyone on the PlayStation 5
Then
Pro.
what's the point of the video?
5
Exactly.
reasons why PC gamers don't understand the PlayStation 5 Pro. Oh no, you're not trying to sell anyone on the PlayStation 5, though. Totally not.
All I'm saying is...
By the way, you want to
the
know what
Discord-
else is odd? The games that... Okay, you want to know what's odd, Rift?
I dread to think. Go on.
Okay, so the games that they showed for the PS5 Pro at their showcase were literally PS4 titles.
I'm just giving you a clip. Right, there we go. I can use my mouse without my freaking fleshy arm in the camera now.
But yeah, the games that were shown there were strictly PS4
Of course, online
titles.
is overblown when it comes to
Just because
So
it's
I'm
an
like-
opinion, it doesn't shield you from criticism. It makes you look like a pussy. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're fully confident in your opinions, like, you shouldn't have to justify them. Like, the evidence presented, like, should be enough to justify your take.
the PS5 Pro and all these people saying,
Could have
Yeah,
gotten
I'm like,
MJ into
so-
John Wick for the shooting missions. Lol.
"Oh, you should just get a PC. You know, PC is better." Ba 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 ba. I'm captive to the PS5 ecosystem. What do I mean by that? I have hundreds of games in my library. And I'm also a trophy hunter. Years ago,
I mean, the same thing can be said for me. Like, I have almost 100. Like, if you factor in the games that I've like transferred over from my Xbox One, it's like I have over 100 games that I could install. I can't install them right now because my fucking hard drives are broken. So I'm limited to just the 1 terabyte that the freaking PC comes with, which is great. It's just that the new Call of Duty takes up like 1/5 of that because Call of Duty's shit. So realistically,
Wait, how
I've
much
only.
space is it for?
So realistically, well, it's because you can't install like the newer Call of Duty games separately. You have to download like the Call of Duty like browser, and that's like 200 gigs. It's so stupid. So even though 1 terabyte is a lot of space, like in reality, I can only have like 6 games at the moment because fucking Call of Duty takes up so much. But the point
Wait,
is
which one
that
was-
the point is that like hundreds of games, that's fine. That also applies to PC, and I suddenly stopped caring.
when Xbox introduced achievements, I thought
Oh yeah, PC literally has achievements, so a little awkward.
the notion of this like
Well, you're
metagame
lying.
of completing certain mundane tasks for a digital accolade was pointless. Like, it made no sense. It was just plain stupid. But then I got my first platinum
Echo, can you hear
trophy years ago. At the time, it happened to be Killzone 2, and it took me quite a bit of effort to get that platinum. And when I got it, the feeling, like the endorphins, that like there's something chemically that occurs for some people. I have an addiction.
The PS5 is an addictive drug? Question mark.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Of personality. So when that happened, I was hooked. And so, you know, I've actually bought games multiple times that launched on other platforms and then later came to the PlayStation just so that I could get the trophies. And so
Like, why would you not just play them on their platform? Like, as far as I'm aware at least, every platform other than the Switch has achievements. So, what's your point?
there you have it, guys. Those are my 5 reasons for why I feel
Well, let's get your ratings in chat for this video. "15 minutes long, maybe made one or two good points." Let's get your ratings in the chat for that video. That was quite literally awful. My god. Right, anyways. Yeah, the title pretty much sums up everything you need to know for this one. Yeah.
The PS5 Pro just got a
Yeah, yeah, why the PlayStation... Also, this person uses an AI voice, meaning that I'm not gonna pull any punches with this one. Why the PlayStation 5 Pro is super cheap and better than a 2K gaming PC. Also, the dislikes are coming. Help me out with a like on the video. Even though, like, if people are disliking you, it's probably for a reason. I love this comment. 900 plus euros in my country, no vertical stand, no disk drive, same Zen 2 CPU, still no games, still get robbed by Sony for multiplayer, same DualSense with stick drift, Concord, enough said. Flop of the century.
What does Concord have to do with it? That's crazy.
No, because Concord's a PlayStation exclusive that flopped. So, like, you're paying all that money for those kinds of games. PlayStation 5 Pro, because Concord needed some competition for flop of the year. Oh dear. For context, the PlayStation 4 Pro cost 399 euros in 2016. That in today's time with inflation is 532. And like what the fuck? It does
Actually,
not
there
have
are
the
some people.
I'm
that
sorry.
still-
I'm sorry. Do they try and claim that it has the power of a 4070 or a 4080? Jesus Christ. People are gonna really try claim that. PC gamers will pay $1,000 plus for a PC that can barely play Monster Hunter Wilds. Are you kidding me? That game's not even out yet, you melon. Like, that game literally releases in, like, February next year. Like, what? Like...
Another thing, too, is that they can still play it. So
the
it's kinda
game's
like,
not even
why?
out yet. Oh, this game that's not even out yet? Oh, you can't play it on PC. Like, yeah, you can't play it on your console either, you twit. The entire purpose of consoles is they're supposed to be affordable. It doesn't matter if the PS5 Pro has better value than a PC. They try claiming that it has a better value.
Oh, is it?
It doesn't matter if the PS5 Pro has a better value than PCs, faster performance, or if it has slightly better graphics. Most people do not have $700 to casually drop on their kids or themselves, let alone having extra to pay for basic features that existed in every other console. Games are overpriced still, and there's hardly any exclusive games to play. There's a reason the Switch is successful despite being 1.5 generations behind in hardware. It's consumer friendly, no it's not, and provides an insane amount of exclusive games. I mean, it's not consumer friendly, but other than that, that's a pretty base take. $2,000 PC is overkill to match a PS5 Pro. Yeah, my PC slaps the PlayStation 5 Pro, and it was like only just $1,000 equivalent.
I mean, I have to travel, and I have a gaming laptop that...
Why do people take her seriously? Is it even a her? Like, I don't even know. It's like a female AI voice, but it could very well be a man. And to think they could have just brought out a 1TB version of the PlayStation 5 Pro for $599 if they had any sense. No, I would not. I would not buy a 4K Blu-ray drive, no stand, and you're calling it cheap. Are you crazy? Lol. PlayStation 5 Pro is an option for users who want more. I want more than a PlayStation 5, so I will buy it. That is a very expensive option. Like,
That's like saying if you got cash to spend.
Like, if you want more of the PlayStation 5, then keep playing the PlayStation 5. Like, you are blatantly... It is a daylight robbery, the PlayStation 5 Pro. Because it doesn't even
like,
get
no
you...
benefit.
It doesn't even get you, like, all that good performance, either. Which I'll have a look...
Like
You know, you really turned my head in... Oh, Jesus. If this video is actually convincing some people on the PS5 Pro, we gotta watch it.
The PS5 Pro just got announced and people are losing their minds. Here is why I think it's cheap. Question of the day is...
Most expensive console of all time. Here's why I think it's cheap. You're gonna have to convince me.
Will you buy a PlayStation 5 Pro day one?
I'm not gonna buy it at all. What do you mean? Vertical stand sold separately? What, do you mean it can't even stand on its own 2 feet without, like, additional purchases? That sentence pretty much just sums up console gaming as a whole, doesn't it? It can't stand on its own 2 feet without additional purchases. You can't put something inside of it without external purchases. I'm gonna end that sentence there.
In the comments. But now let's get into the nitty-gritty. So this is the official post from PlayStation Blog, and I quote, "The PS5...
The PlayStation 5 Pro console will be available this holiday at the manufacturer's suggested retail price of $699 US or 700 euros or 120,000 yen. This will include a 2TB SSD, a DualSense wireless controller, and a copy of Astro's Playroom pre-installed in every PS5 Pro purchase. PlayStation 5 Pro is available as a discless console with the addition to play an additional. Okay, so you're not even given the disc drive, which sucks because it's expensive as fuck to get the disc drive.
Exactly.
And you're also not given the kickstand, so you have to lay that thing on its ass. It's like even Puffer can sit upright. Yet this thing.
Well,
can't.
I would say it's like $800. Like to me, it's $800 just because of the fact that you have no disc drive.
It's
right?
saying that it's $700 US is
that.
freaking misleading. Because it's like, yeah, it's $700 if you don't buy like the mandatory shit that other consoles have had, like a disc drive or a kickstand.
Yeah,
like, it's just
that's
so
what I would
dishonest.
say,
Continue.
That's just why I
5 Pro console will be available this holiday at a manufacturer's suggested retail price
It's just
of
bad
700
because the whole
USD.
point of a console
700
is to, like, have a physical
Also, have you noticed the
edition.
like to dislike ratio? 31,000 likes, 58,000 dislikes. Lol.
100 GBP, 800 EUR. It will include a 2 terabyte SSD, a DualSense wireless controller, and a copy of
See, this is the thing as well that people aren't understanding. So, like, you can quote GPU upgrades and all the rest of it. Like, on paper at least, the PlayStation 5 Pro is a pretty powerful machine, but that doesn't matter if people aren't making games that take advantage of it, which we'll go into, like, soon. Like, for context, the original PlayStation 5 offered you... It was advertised to be, like, what, 120 FPS in performance mode and 60 in, like, the graphical fidelity mode. So why do we still have games that are capped at 30 FPS on these consoles? It's because they keep going for graphics. And the problem with that is that, number one, they're not following through on their promises for what was advertised with the product that the consumer bought. And number two, we don't care about graphics. Like, some of the most popular games of all time, Minecraft, Team Fortress 2, Left 4 Dead 2, you know, like, whatever else you can think of, like, Counter-Strike, like, games that do not have good graphics, but people don't get. Fortnite, it's like, I hate the game, but there's no denying its success. Fall Guys, literally any battle royale, like, recently, like, and they don't have super good graphics, but people don't care because they run at a good quality, and people like them. So, like, and I can't speak for other people, but I don't care about good graphics in a game. I would rather have something like Borderlands 2, where it doesn't have super realistic graphics, but it has a very appealing art style that helps it stand out, and it runs as smooth as butter. Like, but these people don't understand that. They're like, oh, the game can run at 4K resolutions. Oh, that's cool. What performance can it run at? Oh, 30 FPS on a good day. Sometimes it drops below that. It's like, mate, the Nintendo Switch can run games at 30 FPS, and that's less powerful than the original Xbox One. Like, come on.
Astro's Playroom
It's like no
pre-installed
one
in
cares
every
about graphics if it performs poorly.
And it's also funny because Mark Cerny himself, the head of PlayStation, said at the PlayStation Showcase that we will strive for 60 FPS with the graphics mode. Which means that you're not guaranteed 60 FPS. It's like, my PC can run games on ultra graphics settings, like, and it's almost guaranteed 60. But the point, and you might be saying, oh, well, it's not guaranteed 60, who cares? Yeah, I'm also running, like, YouTube videos in the background, I have Discord, I have, like, a load of other things in the background. The thing with games consoles is that they have one job, to play games, and they can't even do that at an acceptable quality for modern standards.
PS5 Pro purchase. PS5 Pro is available as a discless console, with the
Spelt discless wrong, because, you know.
option to purchase the currently available disc drive for PS5 separately. PS5 Pro will launch on November 7th.
It's also pretty funny, let me just go back to that. Same with games like Garden Warfare or Black Ops 1 and 2. Yeah, exactly. It's like they don't have the best graphics, but people don't care, because the game's good. Let me just look at this as well. Some games you can look forward to include blockbuster hits from PlayStation Studios and our third-person partners. So, third-person meaning you can enjoy them on PC and Xbox. So, what's the appeal? Like Assassin's Creed, you can play that on PC. Dragon's Dogma 2, fairly certain that's on PC. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, fairly certain that's multi-platform.
Yeah,
Hogwarts Legacy, that's on literally every platform. Forbidden West,
You can
on
just
PC.
go on and on.
Marvel Spider-Man 2, coming to PC. Ratchet and Clank, don't give a fuck. Like, you see what I mean? Like, they're advertising, oh, you can play these games on PlayStation 5 Pro. Like, really? You could also play them on the original PS5, so if you have a PS5, that's not a selling point, but you can also play them on PC. So it's like, who cares?
Well, it's like at
PS5
this
Pro.
point, it's like there's no point of getting a console anymore. Like they're making physical copies of games like digital now, where it's like they're no longer gonna just be valuable. Like having the disc means nothing now. Not to mention the exclusivities go away, so there's no point of keeping it if you think that the game's going to come to PC. And there's no like couch co-op anymore, so it's like there's no point of getting a console if they're not gonna like focus on these features or these like points that sell consoles.
It's so stupid.
It's like you want to sell the console, but you're taking away every feature that makes it valuable.
Hey, Bankai with the $2. Thank you very much, my guy.
Can you also do a high frame rate supremacy?
High frame rate supremacy, I agree. It's actually a funny story. So I purposefully, you know how I mentioned earlier that my PC like runs games at 60? I actually intentionally limit it to 60 just so like my CPU can run other things. But I actually did an experiment the other day. You know Warhammer, like Space Marines 2? Yeah, so what I did was I turned off everything in the background. So like Discord, YouTube, I turned everything off, and I also removed the limiter for the frame rate, and I played the Extinction, or the Extraction, I can't remember, the one with the Hive Titan, you know, like the one that I'm referring to.
Yeah, that one.
Have a guess what FPS I was reaching.
Like beyond 60, or at 60?
130.
Not bad.
And sure, it wasn't stable, you know, it dropped to, you know, 110, 190, but no lower than 90.
But it's like, that's way better than 60 FPS, which
way better than
consoles are
60.
trying
So,
for.
I intentionally limit my PC to 60, just so it can run other things, like, if I'm live streaming, for example.
If
Like,
anything,
I don't want the
that's a
live
flex.
stream to look shit, of course not. So, it's like, people, but they
it's
just,
like
people
PC
just don't get it.
Pro will launch on
It's
November
like
7th.
consoles and PC is like comparing two different weight classes of fighters. That's how it is.
Yvescu, I never cared much for high frame rate as long as it's not terribly low. Well, I think if it's 60, that's fine. But the point that I'm making is that these consoles and like these people who are selling you the consoles are promising you like they are promising you the world and they're not giving you it. And if they're not going to give you what they promised, then why the fuck should you buy their platform? Like, realistically, I think 60 FPS is perfect. Like, you don't need any more than that. Sure, having more than that is great, but 60 is the standard. And if you're not reaching that standard, then there is a problem. Especially if you are promised that standard.
Not to mention, a good PC on its average day can reach 60 FPS without a problem. So it's like constant struggling to get
To
there.
put it into
Kinda makes you
context
question
as
why
well
getting
how
console.
unacceptable this is, the Steam Deck is comparable to like a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro, and that console can run games at 90 FPS as its absolute limit. So it's like, what is the PlayStation 5 Pro's excuse?
2024.
Like, you could just say games are
and will
getting
be
more
available
difficult
at
to do, but even then, it's like, it's not an excuse if you're promising that it will function the way
I think the
do.
reason why games are getting more difficult is just because they're leaning too far into the graphics side of things.
Yeah, like you said.
Like, they
some
have
of the
their
best
priorities
games are
wrong.
made by
Like,
people-
that's where I'm at anyways.
participating
Well, it's like
retailers
having a good,
and direct-
like a shiny car without getting good, like, drive, or it doesn't function well on the road.
Yeah, like quite
That's what it
literally.
feels like.
directly from PlayStation at direct.playstation.com. Pre-orders will begin on September 26th, 2024. 4. Alright,
I
so
just realized they've got like freaking subtitles at the bottom.
going back and rewatching some of my old videos, and I gotta say, I'm pretty shocked at how dead-on my predictions were about the PS5 Pro. I called it early. I said this beast would drop at $700, and boom, here we are. Some folks—
No, it doesn't drop at $700. If you pay $700, you are getting a butchered version of the console, since that $700 doesn't include the disc tray or the kickstand. Like, you are just blatantly lying. Oh, I predicted $700. Yeah, they get— first of all, it's $720, let's have it right. But also, that doesn't give you the basic necessities of a console. Like, why are you acting as though this is a slam dunk?
are freaking out over the price tag, but let's be honest, you're not getting a PC with these specs.
Yes, you are.
Playing 4K at 60 FPS.
Arguably better.
Or how about this? You could just play at 1080p at 120 FPS.
With ray tracing on for that kind of money.
See, here's the issue as well. Why are you using these specific performance metrics? 4K, 60 FPS with ray tracing on. Like, it's so obvious you're a console gamer because you're like, oh, 4K with ray tracing. Like, the rest of us just don't give a shit about that. I am perfectly happy playing games at 1080p. I've got no choice because that's what my monitor is limited to. Like, I have a 1080p monitor, and I'm fine with that. But it just makes me so... It's funny when people are like, oh, 4K at 60 FPS. Like, why are we having to use these metrics respectively? Like, the hilarious thing about that is the Steam Deck can achieve greater FPS limits with an OLED screen. So, again, like, little awkward. And some of these comments are actually, like, based. $700 for no vertical stand and disk drive is insane. 13,000 likes. Me before watching this video, I'm fine with my PS5, I'll just get the 6. Me after watching this video, I'm fine with my PS5, I'll just get the 6. Like, there is no point in the Pro. 700 without a disk drive is diabolical. Another 13,000 likes. 700 is downright insanity. And I feel sorry for this poor bastard because he lives in the UK. That's the pound symbol. Meaning that for him, it's not $700, it's like 900. No disk drive is a deal breaker. 5,000 likes. Like, it's so obvious that you have the unpopular opinion here, but you're just doubling down on it.
Look, I get it. $700 isn't pocket change, and for some, it's a bit of a sticker shock. But can't...
the point...
I like how they treat it as if it's the same price all across the board.
Because the point that you're making... Yeah, that's another really good point. It's like, it's £700. It's 700 of your respective currency, meaning that it doesn't take into account, like, exchange rates. Because if you're buying the PlayStation 5 Pro in England or the UK, you get the worst possible deal. Because £700 is, like, almost $1,000. And if you include the disc drive and the vertical stand, it is over $1,000. And for that kind of money, you'd be better off just getting a gaming PC.
Good PC. It's like, unless it was universal, like at $700 US currency, but across all the board, then maybe you can make the argument. But even then, it's like still a
ray tracing, the whole shebang. You can't.
That's literally not true, though. Like, number one, 4K. Pretty sure like high-end PCs can play at 8K, so who cares? 60 FPS is like the bare minimum you should expect on PC, because we can play games that are way higher quality. For context, Left 4 Dead 2, which is a game that came out in 2009, even when I limit the FPS, it still plays at 300 FPS. Like, I don't know if that's true or not, and it's way overkill. Like, you don't need 300 FPS, but that's the number that it says. And it's like, ray tracing on, who cares? We don't need the shadows in a game to look 1% darker. That doesn't matter to us. What matters is playing the games at a great quality. Also, just dodging the entire argument that games that launch on PlayStation 5 have shit performance. A good example being the Until Dawn remake, which was capped at 30 FPS.
And I don't even know why they remade that game. That's what bugs me.
Yeah, and the graphics enhancements in that game were terrible. They just turned the brightness down. And then
Not
they were
to
just like,
mention the
alright, let's
audio
just
was
sell it
worse.
to you for full price.
But it's like, I would argue it's a worse version than the original.
Yeah, because you can't see what's going on.
I have returned.
Hello.
Ask for a full course steak dinner and then complain when
Oh,
it doesn't
AI
come at a fast food price. You
Well, no. We order a five... What the fuck was this analogy?
complain when it doesn't come at a fast food price.
Like, we order a 5-star meal with the PC because we are guaranteed to get that. And even if we
whereas,
don't,
like,
and
On
even
top
if
of
we
that, you
don't,
don't have to pay for it.
and even if we don't get it out of the box, we can change that because you can hyper specifically mess around with the settings. With console, it's a case of you have graphics mode or you have performance mode. You have one or the other. You can't specifically choose, you know, and like be as specific as you like.
You can't have it both ways.
Like, a more accurate analogy is people are complaining that their fast food is now the price of a full course meal. That is a more accurate analogy. Because anyone with an IQ above 10 knows that buying a console, there's nothing wrong with it, but you are inherently getting a compromise. Consoles are for convenience. And there's nothing wrong with that. But logically,
But if you're asking
you are
for, like,
making
the best of the best,
compromises
then you're not gonna
by
get it.
settling for less.
You could grab an Xbox Series X for $600, but let's be real.
You can get a Series X for way less than $600.
Like, the best way to describe a console is that it's basically having a takeout where it's like you'd at least bring your food home and then like treat it like, okay, I can have it in my house, but I don't have to leave the restaurant, where it's like, oh, I have to eat it at the restaurant because it's that high quality, and getting it later is kind of like a bad deal. Like, you know, when it's not properly, you know, made in the moment. I think that's how it feels like. Where it's like the consoles treat you like a Happy Meal, where it's like you can take it.
Wait, hold on.
take it
What did
home.
they say? You can get a Series X for $600. What have I just noticed here? Xbox Series X, 1 terabyte, and it comes with Sonic Frontiers, £350. £350 converted to dollars is $452. So,
Which is $200 less.
and it comes with Sonic Frontiers. So, you
Yeah.
you
I
just
mean, if you do
lied.
the subtraction.
You just lied.
It's like buying last season's model when the new one's about to drop.
Because there's literally no difference.
There's no
You're
reason
still-
to buy it.
We're still on the same performance metrics. It's like, just because they promise you high performance, that doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get it. Compare that to PCs where people have tested it. So when you go, like for example, on my PC at least, when I was buying it, it came with a chart for well-played games like Counter-Strike, GTA 5, Warzone, Elden Ring, you know, Cyberpunk. And people have tested it, and they gave a chart as to the expected FPSs that I can experience with these games. Sony isn't going to do that. So why should you trust
think
that?
about
It is
storage.
quite literally the definition of taking their word as gospel. Why would you do that? Why would you take their word as gospel? Why would you buy something that you don't know how it performs? And even at their own showcase, where they are the entire world is looking at you and your product, and you say,
And laughing.
we are striving for 60 FPS. We
And
cannot
then
even
following
guarantee
that,
it.
you show games that already released on the last generation.
They show
consoles.
gameplay of
That's-
The Last of Us Part 2 on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro, and there is literally no difference between them. What are
Like,
you
the whole
paying
point
for?
of what made Sony successful was focusing more on the games and their quality rather than just the console itself and just getting FPS down with graphics. And it's like, you shouldn't be aiming for graphics or FPS. You should be aiming for giving us high quality games.
I'm back. Hello, Jen. Also, the Series X has backwards compatibility. That's actually a fantastic point, because one of the biggest selling points for me for the PlayStation 5 Pro is the whole backwards compatibility thing. But it's like, I don't see why that should be a selling point, since this has been a thing on Xbox for years now.
For generations.
It's like, congratulations, you finally caught up, PlayStation.
Xbox Series X is already falling behind in the tech race.
It's like, why can't they do that for the regular PS5?
It was a solid competitor to the PS5, sure.
Well,
but
they gave
now,
us PS5
solid
Pro updates,
hang on.
but it doesn't make sense.
Hang on, the Xbox Series X was a solid competitor. No, the Xbox Series X outperformed the PlayStation 5. Like, it was a more powerful console and you had more games. Like, yeah, it had worse exclusives, I'll give you that, but who cares? Like, exclusives isn't where the argument, like, lives and dies. There's more to it than that. You also have things like Game Pass on Xbox, and, like, other things like that.
It's starting to show its age, especially when you put it side by side
Like,
with
the
what
only
the
reason you
PS5
get a
Pro
console
is
now
bringing
is
to
to
the table.
support
Think
specific games that you want to
about it.
succeed, that you think are of quality.
I love the fact
They're
that I
only
love how
exclusive.
many of these fucking comments there are on the left-hand side. Like, I've just been playing the video. There's so many. Like, also, if the Xbox Series X is showing its age, shouldn't the same thing apply to the PlayStation 5 as well?
They should both apply.
Yeah. €800 in Europe, $700.
And just to be clear, to like, if anyone else watches this that doesn't know like the stream and all that, I'm a PS5 owner, and like even me and Phoenix are PS5 owners, and we know that this.
And
like,
we
this
know
stuff
that
is
it's
BS.
not possible. Like we know that it's very stupid, and that's the thing, is for the fact that, like, for one, at the showcase, we have PS5 games. Were any of them showed? Were any of them showed? No one asked for PS4 gameplay to be showed at a PS5 showcase.
Like, people were expecting new games, not new graphic settings.
Like,
because
honestly,
that's kind of
like,
the point. Like, PlayStation, if you think about it, has the worst exclusives of any platform. And at that point, why would you buy it? Like,
well, I mean, it depends. I would have to disagree because.
well, no, because the games themselves are good, but they're coming to PC anyways. It's like God of War Ragnarok. It's on PC now. Spider-Man 2.
But here's the
coming
thing,
to
Russ,
PC.
we agree with that stuff. The only problem is, like, there's almost this fear or intention that if we don't get it on the PS5, it won't come to PC.
But it's like, it's going to anyways, that's the thing. Because it's like, from Sony's perspective, from Sony's perspective, the PlayStation marketplace is massive compared to console. So it's like, from a business perspective, it would make no sense to not bring it to PC.
I get that. It's just always one of those things where people care about money, and if they see that a game makes no sales, they're not even going to bother putting it on.
Well, no, but if you have something like God of War Ragnarok, the sequel to God of War, like, that shit's gonna make money. Spider-Man 2, that shit's gonna make money. And it's like, also, I would disagree with that logic, because if that was the case, then why the fuck haven't Nintendo put their games on PC?
Well, if I were to say, it would come down to some, like, for example, God of War 1 for the PS4, or, like, you know, Spider-Man 1 for the PS4. It's like, if those didn't do well, I doubt it's like the same argument where we probably wouldn't even get the game. You know, the sequel to those games if they weren't supported.
I mean, if you were to go down that route, then I would just say that buying a console for, like, 1 or 2 exclusive games, you're just getting ripped off.
Yeah, we know that.
Like, that's a dog shit investment. Yeah, so at that point, I'd be like, what's the point?
I get
like,
that.
If I'm gonna be honest,
like it's like, but it's that initial idea that the games are so good that sometimes we feel like it's that feeling that if they get rejected, it's like Transformers 1. No one went to the movie theater to watch it, and it didn't perform as well. It's like, that's the fear that comes with the exclusives.
But if you've only got like a
perform
couple,
well,
though, what's the point?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the initial fear people have, though. So.
Yeah, but it's like, here's my thing with that. It's like, I would say it's kind of like the idea of like every single PlayStation game, because I have a friend that likes to play on PC, but he owns a console. Yeah. And whenever he figured out that Ghost of Tsushima was going to be on PC, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not touching a console again."
Yeah,
because you've also got to keep in mind, like, what else are you? Because like, if you're holding out for like a couple of games, it's like they're not going to be releasing like all that close together. So it's like, what are you going to be doing for the rest of your time?
Right.
It's like you're going to be playing less third-party games at a higher price with worse performance metrics. It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
You may as well
the only way I can see The only way I can see consoles making a comeback is if they do a new policy where it's like, okay, they release the game digitally first, but then they give you the physical copy with everything on the disc afterwards. And I feel like that would be the only investment you have.
I'd also say a safe a big like counter to what you were saying. So like, oh, you buy the console because like just in case they don't come to PC. It's like with PC, we have so many fucking games that we don't even care about not getting a couple. It's like, because I remember when people, on launch were like, oh, you have to wait years to play Spider-Man 2. Oh, you're not going to get it. Like, this same YouTuber was like, you PC guys will have to wait until 2027 to play Spider-Man 2. I was like, okay, cool, don't care. Like, do you have any idea how many fucking games are on PC? I am prepared to wait 4 years, because I have 4 years worth of games. Do you?
Plus, you could just simply say people down the line will create emulators of the consoles anyway.
Yeah, that's actually a fair point, 'cause it's like Nintendo Switch emulators are on PC, it's like PlayStation 4 is on PC, so it's like, realistically, the games are coming to PC one way or another.
Like I said, the only reason that I have a thing for physical copies is because it's proven that Blu-ray discs and all that lasts for a very long time, where it's like you have to keep replacing
just
your storage over
$100
time,
more.
but that's
You're
just
getting
a pet peeve of mine.
console that's a significant leap forward in terms of power, performance, and future-proofing. The PS.
I mean, not really. And even if it, like, even though it's objectively better, like, in terms of on-paper stats, it's like, that doesn't translate to how the games actually play.
PS5 Pro's got a
like
GPU with 67...
have you seen Starfield or like all these games that claim that they perform really well? Even if you have the best, like the best stuff to like perform it, the games can sometimes be shit. So it's just like the game matters more than the settings that you have.
Yeah, it's like it's like you could have the most popular, you could have the most powerful device on the planet, but if the game is broken, then who cares? Because take Cyberpunk for example. When that released, like PC, I think it released in like what 20.
It didn't matter if you had a good PC.
Yeah, it's like it didn't matter if you had a good PC or what have you, because the game was just broken. It's like Sonic 06. It's like there's no denying in my mind that I could play that game at like 60 FPS. But why would I want to? Because the game's just fundamentally broken. Like
7% more compute units and 28% faster memory. Xbox Series X can't touch that.
Like,
I'd also point out as well that 28% more than 1 is 1.28. Like, that's not a huge improvement. You know what I mean? Like, 28% faster... Barely... Like, a 28% faster slug is still going to be slower than a cheetah.
I mean, if I had to describe it, it's like sticking your tongue out at the final end of a race and saying that's better.
And let's not even start on the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution and RDNA 4 tech. That stuff's not just ahead of the curve. It's setting a new one. Buying an Xbox Series X right...
Hold on. Let me just check that.
Hey, what's going on? You okay?
Yeah. I'm just googling what they I'm just googling that thing that they said. Hold on.
It's setting a new resolution in RD
for release date.
What?
Oh, fucking hell. Alright, so the PlayStation 5 Pro is releasing in the end of this year, right? Like, they said like November 2024, something like that?
Well, I mean, it already released. It dropped, let's say, yeah, it dropped yesterday, or at least pre-orders dropped yesterday.
The PlayStation 5 Pro will come with Spectral Super Resolution and RDNA 4 tech. You sure about that?
There's honestly no point. I don't know why people pick up the console.
AMD confirms the next-gen RDNA 4 GPUs will be launching in early 2025, which... like, they just blatantly just lied. Like, that's hilarious. Oh,
can I ask a simple question in regards to, like, PC gaming? what's the hard part of getting a Steam account and just buying the game, and then even if Steam gets shut down, you can still play the game?
Exactly. To be fair, I'd choose PC over the PlayStation 5, and I've always been a PlayStation person. Well, Jen, if you like the Nintendo Switch, as a compromise, you could try get the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally. Because it's like a Nintendo Switch, where, like, you hold it in your hands, but, like, it plays games that are good quality. And you have access to, like, all of the PC, like, sales and shit. And it's also cheaper as well. So, like, I would so, like, Jen, if you genuinely wanted to get into PC gaming, but you like the Nintendo Switch, I'd 100% recommend either the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck.
Yeah, but just to get into perspective, Rift, think of it like this. How long do you think the Steam Deck will last in terms of a device before it, like, fails?
What do you mean by... Excuse me. What do you mean by that?
In other words, if you wanted to keep playing the Steam Deck over and over again and say for, like, a decade or so, it's like, compare that to, and then let's say you could play games even past generations.
Oh no, I mean the Steam Deck is already out. It's already outdated because, like, the ROG Ally is just better in every way. And the Steam Deck's also been a thing since, like, when did it introduce? Was it like 2021? It came out, something like that. So it's like, yeah, the Steam Deck is already outdated, but, like, it plays a lot of games that are good quality.
Yeah, but my whole point comes down to the fact that people are worried about how long the game will last. Usually a good PC or device will last you about 10 years or so, and it's the same for consoles. Maybe even more.
Well, because technically it's a handheld, and it's like handhelds have, like, different standards. Because it's like my Nintendo DS, for example, it still works now. So it's like, I honestly don't know. I mean, I
have a PS2 that still functions today.
The only problem that I would say with the Steam Deck is that the only problem that I have with the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally is because they're so small and they have a lot of technology crammed inside them, they do overheat quite quickly. But then again, they have, like, really good fans, so...
my whole point
it's kind of like... So that's kind of like one drawback to it, where, like, if the fans break, you're probably fucked, because they overheat, like, more than a freaking cocaine dealer in a police interview room. So you do need to be careful with that.
My whole point comes down to the fact that... No, I'm trying to get to the point where it's like, think about that. With a console, you have to stop and buy a new one to get the new updates, games, and software, and the stuff that PC automatically has access to. So even if you have an outdated device, being a PC or a laptop, it can still function on new hardware, like on new, like, you know, like games coming out or new software. And it's just like, people seem to be blind to that fact that it can go further before it's fully expired.
I love that mobs just noticed that Puffer is in the camera. But yeah, if you want any help regarding that, Jen, I'd like to think that I've done a lot of research on it, so I'll help you.
I mean, think of it like this. You know the old computers from the 80s? Some of them still work today, and some of them can even run the hardware of today, even if it's, like, pushing its limits.
Okay, so where did we get to? Oh yeah, they just lied, because RDNA 4 Tech isn't coming until next year, so yeah, they just blatantly lied about that.
That stuff's not just ahead of the curve.
Oh, and if you're asking how Phoenix, people take care of it.
I mean, it quite literally is futuristic tech, because it's not gonna come out until next year, so yeah.
Again, a person was able to play Apex on a giant, like, on a monitor that looked like a TV, so I really can't say anything.
I made a live Puffer reaction, lol.
An Xbox Series X right now is like settling for good enough when you could have groundbreaking. If you're serious about gaming, why would you settle for something that's already a generation behind?
I love this. Why, if you're serious about gaming, why would you settle for something that's a generation behind? What, do you mean like the PS5 Pro?
Sure,
yeah,
Xbox
like
has
you can
Game
argue
Pass,
all consoles
and
are
that's
like
cool for variety.
already
But if we're
outdated,
talking
like
raw
within the
power,
year,
performance,
like they're
and
released.
getting the best experience out of your games, the PS5 Pro is a no-brainer.
No, if you want the best performance, raw power, and gameplay, then yes, PC. Because those are the things that PC is associated with. And also by your own logic, Xbox has value as well because of Game Pass. It's like, yeah, sure, like, the Series X is outclassed raw power-wise, at the very least on paper, but it still has its own merits, so it's like, I mean,
ask yourself this simple question. What's the problem of getting a laptop and a PC in conjunction, compared to, like, a PS5 Pro, and, you know, just the Portal?
Well, the reason why getting a laptop is a good idea is for convenience. The problem with the And also, the laptop is like an optional extra, whereas like with the PlayStation Portal, it's like you need to have the PlayStation 5, because otherwise the Portal's just useless. Because you need to connect it to your PlayStation to get it to work.
That's the
Yeah, and
issue
if the
that
Wi-Fi
no
shit,
one
then you
can
can't
do.
play anything.
Not to mention, you can get laptops that are objectively better than the Portal, since it's really not that impressive of a handheld.
I mean, even laptops can rival like current consoles if you really push it. But those are like the very expensive ones.
I mean, look at Vanos Gaming, for example. It's like, he uses a laptop, and like his games, like he can run pretty much any COD game, so...
Why PS5 Pro is a better deal than a high-end gaming PC.
Let's have it!
Remember when I said the PS5 Pro would be a better investment than a $2,000 gaming rig? Yeah.
No, that's bullshit.
I'm sticking to that.
Okay, well, you're a moron.
Already
I wanna
seeing
hear
those
their
doom and
argument,
gloom thumbnails
because I
popping
wanna
up all
debunk
over
it.
YouTube.
I'm back, what did I miss? We had a long-ass discussion about the PlayStation 5 Pro, and it's still going.
PS5 Pro will be a complete flop, bro.
I mean, I don't think anyone would say that the PlayStation 5 would be a flop, because, like, let's be honest, morons will still
The fact
buy
that you
it, but,
say
like,
that,
the point
mean,
the point that people are making is it's not worth the money.
it's like, why get a PS5 Pro when the PS5 alone is sufficient to get what you
Like,
want?
if someone
from the
were, like, if
PlayStation?
someone said, like, okay, if someone was like, okay, there's a new Nintendo Switch coming out, it can play games at 120 FPS, every single game guaranteed, can play games at 4K, and it can play literally any Nintendo game that has ever existed at those specs. And it also has a battery life that lasts, like, what, 24 hours worth of battery life. And if that was $700, I would maybe consider it, like, a good deal. Because it's like, you're getting a shit ton for your money. But it's like, looking at the
Plus, you're
PlayStation
getting all the
5 Pro...
features.
Yeah, and say for example it allowed emulation and mods, because fuck it. It's like, but looking at the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's like, okay, you get literally no additional features than the original PlayStation 5. It's a little bit more impressive power-wise, and it has backwards compatibility, but only the games that they allow you to play, because obviously you're still beholden to Sony. Like, you can't emulate the games you want if they're not present. It's a case of you have to hope for the best that Sony makes the game that you want to play backwards compatible, because if it isn't, then you're fucked.
Then there's a problem.
And you've also got to keep in mind that the $700 you're paying for doesn't include the disc drive or the disc tray, or the kickstand. So it's like $700 only covers the cost of a butchered version of the PS5 Pro, and you're not even getting your money's worth. So, what's the point?
Yeah, it's like, imagine if they gave you the disc drive.
You're muffled, by the way. You sound like you're at the bottom of the ocean. You're visiting the Titanic.
Can you hear me now?
No, you're still with Jack and Rose.
The fact that you know the Titanic so well.
I could literally give you I could recite every single event that takes place between the 2 hours and 40 minutes from it hitting the iceberg to it sinking beneath the Atlantic Ocean.
How do I sound now?
I don't know, you're paddling in the ocean, maybe?
How about now?
You're okay,
You're
just
good.
a bit quiet.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I'm good.
Oh, now you're muffled again.
God damn it.
Bro, chill. Y'all said the same thing about the PS Portal and the PS5.
I mean, the PlayStation Portal is objectively a bad handheld. Like, it's easily the worst handheld. Like, I think the Nintendo Switch is better, and you guys know how I feel about that. Like...
And guess what?
How old is Puffer? He chills. I'll just read chat whilst Aesop's fixing his mic. Saying a PlayStation 5 Pro is better than a PC is like saying Batman beats Superman. Yeah, the funniest thing is COD games are pretty well optimized. Not all the time. Black Ops 6 is surprisingly good, but some COD games not so much. Speaking of Nintendo Switch, you should watch Harmon Smith's video on the Switch too. Maybe I will.
You made another one?
Okay, I'm back.
Chelsea, how you doing, my darling? I know you've got the argument that would be... Wait, what? I know that you've got the argument that it would be a handheld I just would not pay that much for something that was a handheld. Well, no, the point that I'm making is, yes, 700 quid would be expensive for a handheld, but if they promised you those things, you would be getting your money's worth. Like, yeah, £700, it would easily be the most expensive handheld ever made, but the point is you'd be getting your money. Like, that's the point I'm making. But with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's like, okay, you're getting, what, slightly better I still wouldn't do it. I'm sure you wouldn't, and I wouldn't, but the point is, like, a lot of people would. Because, objectively speaking, it would be a fantastic upgrade. Would it be expensive? Of course it would. But it would be a fantastic upgrade nonetheless. Like, there's no discussion to be made here. But the thing with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's like, okay, slightly better performance? Really, what else are you getting?
Both sold like crazy. The same thing is...
If anything, you're getting less, because the original PlayStation 5 came with the disc tray, and it came with the fucking kickstand for no additional cost.
Gonna happen here. Once the reviews start rolling in and real gamers start testing it out at home...
This did not age well. This comment did not age well. Because I'm pretty sure GameSpot said it was one of the worst consoles in recent memory.
You'll see it's the real deal.
Real gamer.
Also, yeah, real gamer. I could not imagine being a fake gamer. Sorry, let me just put my pussy away. I'm not a real gamer.
Speaking of the PS Portal, let's put things into perspective. If you're really itching to go mobile, the PS Portal is a better choice than fiddling with garbage mobile games. It's like...
What?
I mean, first of all, the PlayStation 5 Portal isn't a mobile device, it's a handheld. That would be like saying the laptop is an iPhone. It's like you'd be fucking stupid for saying that. The point is that the PlayStation 5 Portal, objectively speaking, is worse than the Steam Deck and especially the ROG Ally. Like, the ROG Ally, unironically, could probably solo the PlayStation 5. And it's a handheld. Like, to put it into perspective. Like, it's a handheld that plays games at 1080p, 120 FPS. Like, for a handheld, it's broken. Is it expensive? Sure. I'm pretty sure it's like £600. But, like, for a handheld, it's still really good.
Comparing a steak to a hot dog. And trust me, I'm planning to upgrade too. I'm broke right now. Ain't ashamed to admit it, but I've got a game plan. I'll sell my PS5 Slim for about $300.
Get out of the
Keep my
vein.
detachable...
I think what would be awesome is if you only had to... Like, if you already owned the PlayStation 5... And if the PlayStation 5 Pro was only $200, because it's like you'd be getting the upgrade, but it wouldn't feel like an arm and a leg, and you'd still be paying them like the whole $700, just over a long period of time. But like, no, if you're buying the PlayStation 5 and upgrading to the PlayStation 5 Pro, you're spending a bare minimum of $1,200. And at that point, just get a PC.
Like, when you pay more for less, pay more for more.
Yeah, like, if you are set on, like, going for, well, not even the best, because, like, obviously 2K gaming PC isn't, like, the best of the market, but it's like, if you're gonna go all out, go all out. You won't be disappointed.
Disk drive, grab a 2 external drive, and bam! I've got the ultimate gaming setup that still doesn't cost what a high-end PC
It's not the ultimate gaming setup. It just is not.
would. Another point people are missing. Sony hinted at tech in the PS5 Pro that isn't even available on PCs yet. I'm talking about that next-gen RDNA...
Yeah, and it's also not available on consoles yet, because it comes out early next year. So, again, little awkward. You're bragging about a component that doesn't even exist yet, and it's not going to exist until after the launch of the PlayStation 5 Pro. We googled this earlier.
For those who might not be deep into the tech jargon,
Evidently you're not a tech jargon early because fucking googling things is hard for you.
RDNA 4 is AMD's upcoming GPU architecture
Well,
that
when you're
aims
a
to push the
seller,
envelope
you
on what's
hardly have to be
possible in
accurate.
gaming. And Sony's slapping this tech right inside the PS5 Pro, which means that once game developers start tapping into that power, we're gonna see some jaw-dropping...
Once game developers start tapping into the power, implying that they're currently not doing that. And if they're not doing that, why the fuck are you buying their product?
dropping
I
visuals
mean, if
and
a
performance.
developer
Here's
can
what
make the
Sony
best of limited hardware, that's more saying on the developer than the hardware itself.
Also, Riff, when you get the chance to message on Snap, did you see the next Black Ops 6 Zombies map? Wait, is it out yet?
It got leaked.
It got leaked?
I know what he's talking about. I saw it.
I've not seen it.
At this point, I think Call of Duty's maps are always getting leaked. So
he has to say about the Pro. Welcome to the next chapter in gaming, with features like a 67%
Yeah, the next chapter in like a 200-year-old book.
GPU upgrade, advanced ray tracing that triples the speed of the current PS5, and PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, which by the way sounds like wizard-level tech for upscaling graphics. We're looking at a serious leap forward. This isn't just marketing hype. These are steps that
It
matter
quite
to hardcore.
literally is marketing hype. Like, quite literally. Okay, let me put it into perspective. So, what did they say? It was like triple the, what did they say? Triple the
power.
Okay, triple the power. So, every single game on the PlayStation 5 Pro should be running at 180 FPS bare minimum. Since the original PlayStation 5 promised you 60 FPS, so yeah, if every game doesn't run at 180 FPS on the Pro, then it's a scam.
You're fucked.
Yeah, quite literally. But so like you taking their word as gospel is gonna bite you in the butt cheeks, and you're gonna be blind to it because you are so far up Sony's ass.
Well, can I be honest? Comparing console to PC gaming is like comparing science to religion now.
Yeah, it's quite literally. Like, I've got nothing against religion. Like, if you want to be religious, go for it. But, like, I love this saying where it's like, religious people read one book and think they know everything. Scientists read every book and think they know nothing.
Gamers who want the best of the best. The PS5 Pro is poised to provide smoother frame rates at 4K with all the eye candy turned on, advanced ray tracing, 8K support.
It's promised to provide better quality. Notice how they say it's not guaranteed. Notice how it says they aren't guaranteed to give you that quality. Oh, it's promised to give you better quality. It's not guaranteed to give you great quality, though.
Variable refresh rate, VRR, and even Wi-Fi 7 for faster online gaming. You're not just buying a console.
Online gaming that you have to pay for, don't forget. Because you have to pay to play your games online on console. But you're conveniently glossing over that.
You're investing in a piece of tech that'll keep you at the top of the gaming food chain for years to come. And hey...
It's like when
no, it will not. What do you mean? Hang on, let me just... Hang on. Bear me a sec. Hold on. PS4 Pro release date. Yeah, so the PlayStation 4 Pro, for context, released in 2016. So, 4 years. Like, that's all it had.
Yet,
like, 4 years, it was, like, the top of the range for PlayStation. And then the PS5 came out. So, years to come, I think that's bullshit.
It's not gonna be that long.
Yeah, whoops. That's bullshit. Oh, whoops. Hold on, I've broken the fourth wall here. Hold on, what do I do? I've broken everything. Hold on. Where is it?
Just turn off your face cam.
I have so many monitors, I have so many tabs up, I couldn't find the real one.
This is just the beginning. Sony's got more in the pipeline. We've still got a state of play to look forward to, with new game reveals and possibly another deep dive into what makes the PS5 Pro tick.
So, like, but the point you're making is that all of these things are in the future. So...
Not now.
So why don't you wait to buy the thing? Like, why are you buying the thing now in the hopes that you'll get good things later on? Why would you not just wait until those good things are out?
Like, if you tell me a car can drive me so fast with high quality and has good cushions and everything, but you're all promising me it and not telling me what it is.
Can I just point out as well, this might be a hot take, because I know that people like Spider-Man 2. This looks shit. I'm just going to be
that's on a PS5 Pro, by the way.
Is this on the PS5 Pro or is this on the PlayStation 5? This looks awful.
If it's on the Pro, that's embarrassing.
This is straight up terrible. Like, oh, and it's all the more ironic because they strive for all of these fantastic graphics. This game looks shit. Like, there.
Expect more exclusives, expect
Even
more
in
innovations,
motion.
and expect to hear more whining from those who can't see the...
Like, yeah, sure, you can probably see, like, 1% more sand grains on the PlayStation 5 Pro than you can on the PlayStation 5, but, like, who cares?
Like, it's not groundbreaking.
Expect to hear
it doesn't
more
look
whining
like those
from those
trailers,
who can't see the value right in
they're
front
so
of
high quality.
The game did not look like that for me, though, lol. Yeah, like, the game can look crap,
So yeah,
that's the point I'm
go
making.
ahead and doubt it now.
Which is all the more
Yeah, people put on
ironic
more
because
hype
they're
things.
pushing for good-looking games. They're not pushing for great, like, frame rates.
Playing games.
But when the
Like, this looks awful. Like, I know it's covered in sand, but, like, it
PS5
still
Pro
looks
drops,
bad.
and those first
Spider-Man Remastered looks better than this.
real-world tests come out,
I
don't be
think the
surprised
PC
when it
version's
becomes
gonna
the
look even
hottest
better,
item this
especially
holiday
with
season.
Yeah,
Mark my word.
I'm hoping that the PC version fixes this. Because it looks terrible.
And for those who are saying it's all just fluff and PR talk, I'd say, wait and see.
Oh, wait and see. So, buy the thing now, but wait and see to see if it delivers.
Yeah, that's like saying,
Fantastic
I'll give you my
logic.
money in advance, just so that you give me something later. Wow. And
That's like saying,
not like
okay, a
robbing
new
me.
Lamborghini's coming out. Do we know how fast it's gonna go? No.
No.
Do we know how good the tires are? No. Suspension?
No.
No. Brakes? No. Seats? No. Stereo?
Engine?
No. Oh, but you should buy it anyways. Well, how much is it? Oh, it's like £300,000 more than the last Lamborghini. It's like, why would you
let's say
buy
that
it? It's like, why would you buy it? Like, if you know fuck all about it, why would you buy it?
And even if it's
How is that a good selling
like,
point? Oh, just wait and see.
And-
You'll be surprised, silly. Okay, but what if I'm not surprised?
But,
What if it turns out to be shit? What if they cancel it? Oh, well, do I get my
what if
money
it's
back?
just a
Oh, do
minimal
I? Do you
difference?
fairy cakes?
It's like there's no defense.
And if that
They
is
can
your
try to
defense, then...
defend it, it's just a
and if that
they
is
can
your
try to
defense,
defend it, but
then
their defense
holy
is
shit,
just
you're
stupid.
desperate.
Well, it doesn't sound like desperation. It just sounds like this person, like, I know it's an AI voice, but it sounds like they're just reading
Buy
a
and ask
script and they have
questions
a gun to their
later, yeah,
head.
quite literally.
You've got
Well,
to
it's
trust
like
in the
whoever's
vision
selling
and
us
the tech.
this is like, I'm convinced they either have a gun to their head or they have no brain to begin.
Wait, hold on, guys, look at this. Sometimes you've got to trust in the vision and the tech. No, you never trust in the vision and the tech, because logically, there is nothing stopping the CEO from lying to you. Like, the only thing that
Like,
I
does
trust
anyone-
in is my wallet. And my wallet trusts me to make the right decision. And you are doing
Well,
a
let me give you
shit
an
job
example.
convincing me to buy this console.
Like, this is trying to sell you Theramos. Have you heard of that company before with Elizabeth Holmes? That's literally what this is, just for a console.
So bad, my god.
And in this case, I think Sony...
It's all the more stupid since this is AI, meaning that someone had to type out this entire fucking thing to make the AI speak these words. So it's not like so you can't even make the excuse that, like, you said it in the heat of the moment and you didn't actually mean it. Like, no, this person's
You had to
typing this out.
premeditate it. Yeah, like,
got
this
it
is all
right.
premeditated.
PlayStation 5 Pro versus iPhone 16.
Oh
Why the
my
fuck are you
God.
comparing it to the iPhone? Nah, I'm done. Do we even watch the rest of it? You
this
the
is like
PlayStation
brain
5 is better than a phone. Like, who the fuck cares? Different marketplace. It's like saying the Lamborghini is better than the freaking, like, Ford Focus. It's like, yeah, you're probably not wrong, but why is that a comparison?
Yeah, it's kind of like,
One's a
why
supercar,
would you
one's
even
a
compare
hatchback.
that?
Oh, do we even continue watching this? Like I'm.
No, we don't.
Do we continue watching it, chat?
No.
He's comparing he, she, they, whatever. They're comparing the fucking PS5 Pro to an iPhone, and they're acting it. You know what? I'll humor you.
People are out here swearing up and down that if Sony drops a $700 PS5 Pro with all the bells and whistles, it's going to flop. Yet they'll drop $2,000 on a new iPhone because, what? Siri? Double ray tracing?
Well, it's an iPhone. Let me think.
Oh,
Apple
God.
products.
Literally just different marketplace. That's all. Alright, well, yeah, what did you guys think of that? Did we all learn something new? Should we all
Absolutely nothing other than this is how to not sell anything.
Do we all learn something? No.
Yes.
I don't want to bury my head in this
AI
because
voice.
I think anyone with a brain has already come to the correct conclusions, and that this is just like brain rot marketing.
Oh shit! I've just realised. I've just realised if I do full screen, it's just going to show Puffer instead of me because I've moved the fucking camera. God damn it! All right, well. All right, hold on. There's actually yeah, one thing that I actually wanted to look at. So hold on. So this is hold on, sorry, Puffer. So this is PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 5 gameplay comparison.
Here's the
Oh, it's IGN. Yeah, they have no good resources.
I know it's IGN, it's gonna be shit, but why is Puffer staring at me so menacingly? He's looking into your soul. It's like when Apple said that Apple AI would be the phone, doesn't come out until December. Yeah, exactly.
Last of Us Part 2 running on PS5 Pro. It has huge amounts of detail and targets a super smooth 60 frames per second.
I think this is Mark Cerny in the showcase, because this sounds familiar. Puffer's big? Puffer's not big, what do you mean?
Let's compare this to the fidelity mode on PS.
So pause it. Look at the detail. There is literally
Spot
no
the difference.
If there is, it's minimal.
Where's Walder? Where's Wally? Like, spot the difference, honestly. You're paying $700 for the one on the right, and $500 for the one on the left? What is the difference?
Yeah, but the only difference I can spot is like the zipper on the backpack. That's the only thing I notice.
The only thing I can even slightly notice is there's more difference on the leaves. Like, the leaves are slightly better, but who the hell cares? It's background detail. It's irrelevant. Like, what is the difference? Please explain this to me. Why are you paying over $200 more for the one on the right?
For that. Oh, and by the way, notice how it's in fidelity mode and not performance. This would be better if it was in performance mode. I'm just saying.
PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second, and is therefore
And I've played this game multiple times. I know what it looks like.
Wait, hang on. What did they just say?
Frames per second, and is therefore much choppier.
One more time.
PS5, which is only running at 30 frames per second.
So the PlayStation 5, so the PlayStation 5 promised you 60 and it's capped to 30. Interesting.
And fidelity, yeah.
By their own admission. PlayStation 5 is giving you equal performance to that of the PlayStation 3. Gotcha. Mind-blowing technology. Like, her bun is slightly more defined. Maybe.
This goal of delivering almost...
Corporate tells you to spot the difference, they're the same picture. Quite literally. I love that meme.
Fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rate has been...
Like, seriously, let me just go back to... Hold on, when it, like, swaps.
Frame rate.
One sec. Oh, shit.
Achieved for a broad set of titles, including Marvel,
like, even in FPS, what is the difference?
Nothing. And Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. We can see that PS5 Pro is close to doubling.
I'm sorry, if you have to slow things down to prove a point, you've lost the argument.
The power of PlayStation.
Well, it's not even just that, you can fake this if you really wanted to.
Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance Mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second.
Notice how it's a target and not a guarantee.
What we see here...
Again, what is the fucking difference?
Like, even if you can notice that one's faster than the other, the human eye can only track so much.
Like, what is the point?
PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5.
Oh, so you have to point out the details.
It's not. You have to.
Oh wow! You can.
Even I know
like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's much
performance
crisper.
mode on PS5 versus PS5 Pro. Not seeing a really difference here. Not really seeing a difference.
Like, the question I'm going to ask is, who would give a shit? Oh wow, this sign is slightly readable as opposed to just flat out blurry. Oh wow, that's worth $700.
Like, unless it was going to be so different, like, say, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 graphics to, like, Spider-Man, remastered graphics, then that would be a change.
What do you mean there's no difference? You can obviously tell there are more molecules in the leaves. Exactly. It's like...
For this, my favorite is the parade.
Tell me what is the difference? What is
$200 and nothing. Well, it's like you telling me this is $200 more.
Scene from Ratchet and Clank. Distant details are much clearer.
Why would you care? Oh, things that you couldn't notice in the background and don't even matter. Like, they're suddenly much clearer. Really? Who cares?
Also,
And
can
here,
you look,
we can
I
see-
want you to look this up for a second. You know Space Marines 2? I'm gonna let you know in a secret. You know all the stuff happening in the background?
What
I'm gonna
is the
send you this
difference? What is the difference? Oh, bloody hell. I honestly can't tell you the difference. Like, aside from the kids got different clothing, but... What, like, it's exactly the same. This is just comedy. The one on the left looks better. Yeah, like the shitter console just looks better.
Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene,
What do you mean? It's not noticeably better at all.
including the trees and procedural cars.
Oh, the trees. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, because when I'm playing a Spider-Man game, the thing that means the
I wanna
most to me
focus
is
on
the fucking...
trees.
Yeah, the trees. My bad.
So overall, some remarkable improvement to the games.
Notice how they only show PlayStation 5 exclusives as well. The irony being that they're not even going to be exclusives for very long. Why don't you show how this compares to PC on, like, third-party games? I have a feeling you're not going to do that for a very good reason. The fact that PC is better. It's like they've just changed the color settings. It's also when you're at the options, it's like, yeah, exactly.
PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics or smoother and more responsive gameplay. This is the big three showing their value. As you've been seeing, machine learning via the PSSR library is being used quite broadly to add pixel detail and boost frame rate. But there are as many approaches as there are game engines. The increase in raw GPU power is being especially effective.
I give up. I'm not going to listen to Mark any longer. What I'm instead going to do is look at... What I'm instead going to do is look at the PlayStation 5 versus PlayStation 5 Pro comparison for a few games. So this is Black Myth Wukong, which a few people have actually recommended to me.
It's actually really good.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
good.
it.
So it's PlayStation 5, so they're both limited to performance mode, 1080p, 60 FPS. So now let's look at how they actually play performance-wise. I'll keep up with chat real quick. Love how Rift is losing his mind on these comparisons. Yeah, because it makes my mind boggle that morons are defending this shit. Yeah, instead of a huge black goo alien that's coming at me, I'm instead looking at the leaves on a tree. Yeah, facts.
As soon as I got my hands on PS5 Pro, the very first game I wanted to test was Black Myth Wukong.
Hang on a second. Hold on. Watch the frame. Watch the number of frames at the top.
As soon as I got my hands on PS5 Pro, the very first game I wanted to test was...
But
You're going at 55. Why?
you are paying $700 for 1 FPS better.
Like, why?
The $700 device is 56 FPS, so it's not even guaranteed to give you 60. And the $500... Fuck me.
Black
How do
Myth
people defend
Wukong.
this? Oh, again, you're getting 1 FPS more for your money?
After all, this game pushes the PS5 to its limits.
Pushes the PS5 to its limits, yeah, it gives you 1 FPS more, and you're not even guaranteed 60.
Standard console struggles. It can't hold a solid 60 FPS even with...
Neither can the Pro! What do you mean? Like, your
Pro
own
can't
testing
do it. The
can't
PS5,
even guarantee...
the base one can.
You're just fucking lying. Who made this video? Open surprise. I'd rather not. Thank you.
aggressive FSR scaling and...
Okay, so PlayStation 5 on quality, 37 FPS. PlayStation 5 on balanced,
frame generation. Here's the PS5 Pro enhanced game list. There's about 55 games, but Black Myth
Like, we
isn't
all have
one
the
of them.
base one,
Will
yeah.
the PS5 Pro still run it better? Let's see. The standard
10 with the
console
puppets.
had 3 graphic modes: quality, balance, and performance. Quality looked the best, targeted 1440p upscaled resolution, but
See, again, like, this is the thing that I find funny about that. You have to zoom in to notice the details.
No one wants to do that.
Well, let me just go back to this. Like, what is the difference?
There really isn't a difference.
Like, what is the difference? From my perspective, at least, hold on, performance mode looks better than quality mode. Look at the rocks. Performance mode literally looks better than quality mode. What do you mean?
looked the best, targeted 1440p upscaled resolution, but ran in the 30s.
Oh yeah, except for when you zoom really far in. Yeah, my
quite
bad.
often. Balance got around
Yeah, I didn't realize I had binoculars as eyes.
55 FPS on the top end, but there were drops. And then there was performance, which tried to run a solid 60 FPS with the help of frame generation, but still couldn't hold a solid.
It's not even guaranteed 30. That is a joke.
60. Now let's get to the
in performance mode, it can't even guarantee 30 FPS. That is a joke.
Comparison, I want to first start with
also,
the
can I
loading
mention
times.
something about gaming right now? Is that when developers need to save resources on the background, like when you see big battles happening in the background, chances are those stuff is like low textured and low graphic wise. That's why they're in the background. That way that they look cool from a distance, but up close they look hideous. It's like if it really mattered with the graphics and the gaming, then by all extension you're wasting your time and resources and stuff that doesn't matter.
Exactly. Alright, let's have a look at this. Start up from the dashboard.
Here I continued the game from dashboard and essentially got the same 1 minute and 2 seconds on both consoles, so the Pro isn't...
So what's the... So what the fuck's the point? 700,
Oh,
yeah,
3
$700 for a device that loads games exactly the same speed as the original console. So what the fuck's the point?
Isn't any faster in terms of loading. It's really the same. Next, I want to look at the
So what's the point?
graphics, the resolution.
Like, you know,
Keep in
human
mind,
reaction
this game
speed is, like,
isn't
less
on the
than,
enhanced
like,
list, so there's
I don't
not going to
know.
be any of that PlayStation AI upscaling going on to make it look sharper. There's also not really going to be any of that ray tracing that it...
Again, spot the difference. Like, seriously. Like, what is the difference? I have no words. Like, just... Again, spot the difference.
enhanced games might offer. Here's a side-by-side comparison of quality mode.
Okay, spot. Even when you zoom in, spot the difference. Fuck me. Actually crawl inside my arse and make you home. Like, what is this? Who made this device? Were they blinded when they made this?
It looks the same.
It's not even 4K either, it's 1440. So it's not even like, oh, one's at 4K and one's at 1440, but they have the same frame rate. Like, no.
Even when zoomed in 4 times, balance mode has the same story.
Again, like, the fuck is the difference?
Story really looks identical even when you zoom in 4 times again as well. Same thing with performance mode, exactly the same
You can almost be
resolution and
convinced it's a
visuals.
What is the difference between the images? This is so stupid.
There's
the Pro. So really, there's no difference in everything
There's
we
really
just
nothing
looked
there,
at so
that's the
far.
point.
But
It's
here's
literally
where
just you looking at
things
graphics.
get interesting.
Oh, here's where things get interesting. Fasten your seat belts.
The performance, the frame rate. This is what most
Notice how it's not 60 for either of them.
gamers care about. FPS is really the single most important.
Whoa, steady on PlayStation 5. It's nearly 30. You're paying like $700 for 6 more FPS. Whoa, steady on.
Metric when analyzing hard.
When they said they were striving to get 60, they weren't fucking kidding, were they? It's not 37.
They weren't even joking. It's 30 FPS, and this is on fidelity mode.
No, this is quality mode, so It should be 60, but it's...
I mean, it depends. Fidelity mode is
hardware
technically quality
performance.
mode, but...
Let's first
The CPU is exactly the same, just better GPU. And you're paying $700 for that, like, what's the point?
look at quality mode. You
That's
can
the
see
issue.
the PS5 Pro easily running.
Remember how that AI woman was like, oh, you're getting games at 4K 60 FPS? No, you're getting games at 1440p at 31 FPS.
A higher FPS. I noticed about 5 to 10 FPS higher on average, and you can see you're gonna see that in the extended.
I noticed 5 to 10 FPS on average. Meanwhile, the average is way less than 60. My god.
Footage as well, not just in some small bursts. That advantage is fairly consistent throughout the game. PS5 Pro clearly improves performance here. Next.
What do you mean? Hang on. There was a moment where the PlayStation 5 outperformed the Pro. I'll see if I can zoom in on it.
Footage is.
There was one moment where I swear down the
just
PS5 had better performance.
In some small bursts.
By the way, if anybody's asking what I'm doing in the background while watching the video, I am playing.
Look at this! Exactly the same. 32 for both.
Barely.
Wait, and that's in both performance mode and
everything's exactly the
quality.
same. The PlayStation 5 had better performance. Or the same performance, sorry. Holy shit. This is a scam.
Consistent throughout the game. PS5 Pro clearly improves.
Yeah, here it is. PlayStation 5, exactly the same. It's better than the Pro. 35 for the PlayStation 5 versus 33 for the PlayStation 5 Pro. The PlayStation 5 Pro is literally worse than the PlayStation 5. I could end the stream right here, to be honest. Like,
wait, so then what's the point in them trying to give us a console then that's going to be the exact same?
And notice how neither one of them is 60 FPS either. We're gonna strive for 60 FPS. Meanwhile, it's basically 30. Holy shit.
I mean, there's no defending it. Like, you.
Meanwhile, my PC would casually run this game at 1080p 60 FPS. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. On like high settings, by the way. What?
Like, even
how
like,
is there a defense for this?
Put it like this: PlayStation 5 has to go all out to reach this level, whereas PC can hold back and still be at this level.
For context, my shitty little webcam can record at 30 FPS. So my webcam that is like nearly a decade old, almost the same as the PlayStation 5 Pro. Holy shit. I don't even want to press play either, because this is just such a cursed screenshot. The PlayStation 5 is better than the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's so dumb, and it should not be the case, but this is the world we live in. We must be in the fucked timeline. Must have been a canon event that didn't take place somewhere.
Performance here. Next up is balance mode, which targets about 45 FPS. Same story again with the PS5.
Balance. Oh, hold on, exactly the same once again. They're both at 45. What the fuck are you paying for? It's exactly the same. And the PlayStation 5 looks better than the Pro. Like, what is... like... oh, fuck me.
Pro versus the regular console, the Pro is better. It manages...
No, it's not. It's exactly the same. It's like almost the same.
45 FPS more consistently. There's less drops, a higher average frame rate. PS5 here has aggressive drops to 33 FPS, while the Pro holds things above 40. The last mode here is performance,
the
and
Pro's not gonna hold
hold on, here we go. 40. Performance mode. Keep in mind,
I know it's not gonna hold.
Keep in mind that the PlayStation 5 was advertised to give you 120 FPS in performance mode. Let's see what we get.
For 60 FPS with frame generation. Once again, like PS5 Pro clearly shows its power again.
What do you mean clearly shows its power? It's not even guaranteed to get you 60. It's 50. That's like the highest I've seen.
Here is
52,
more
53.
in terms of frame rate.
Oh, hold on, 60. We're at 60.
Closer to 60 FPS.
It drops immediately to 50.
They're really going to be higher across the board. In some parts of the
fuck me.
Game, the Pro hold.
You know what? Maybe I'm being unfair. Hold on. Spider-Man 2. Maybe this is an unfair comparison.
Yeah.
Can I say something, you guys? You know that scene that The Rock hits like Kevin Hart in that Jumanji movie? It's like when Kevin Hart tries to hit Rock, he's like, nothing. PC. One shot him.
Like again. Am I a moron, or is the PlayStation 5 giving you better graphics than the PS5 Pro? Like... This
like
image...
you're going at like...
Oh my god.
How many frames? 30? Okay, so dynamic fidelity mode 30, okay.
I love how it just set...
This is horrible!
Wait, hold on. Upscaled gives you... barely any better performance. Holy shit.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Like, what? You're probably noticing a pattern right now, guys, but what is the difference?
What?
I have no words.
There's literally nothing I can say for this, because it's just weird. Like, it's the same mode.
Like, what is the difference?
I'm just convinced that the PS5 Pro is used for some money laundering thing, that they just use a regular PS5 and just...
Yeah, they just used the regular PS5 and just fed it, like, a healthy amount of crack or something.
Yeah, and then they use that money to be like, okay, how do we get the money? Well, simple, we scam them.
Upscaled gives one more photon in the lights. What is the difference?
Again, the human eye can only track so much.
Yeah, like, which is why it's stupid that they're like, which is why it's so stupid. Hold on, I'll go back to that image. It's why it's so stupid for like, for games to focus on impressive graphics, because we've pretty much reached a limit for graphics. Like
it's
graphics are only gonna slightly get better each year, by like less than 1% better every year. Whereas if you were to focus on performance, you would have an actual competitive market. But like
the best way to say it is that no one's gonna put all their money into an 8K resolution versus a 4K performance.
The funny thing is that the image on the left literally looks better. Like for example, look at the houses over here. You can actually make up the difference between them. Whereas on the PS5 Pro, it's just a blob. Like,
I mean, it's as simple as this: less is more.
How does it look up close? Oh, hold on. Let's look at the trees. No, have you noticed how with all of these, they're hyper zoomed in? Like, they're not even showing you... I want to see what the swinging actually looks like. Okay, so there is...
in the fidelity mode of the Pro, because I feel like that's...
I'm pretty sure they don't even have it in there.
Have you noticed how with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's more blurry than the images on the left?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder why. Please no one in my community buy a PlayStation 5 Pro.
When you do that, like, you favor performance.
What the fuck is the difference between these images?
Go to the...
What is the difference?
There's nothing at all.
Except for the fact that the fire is missing on one of the images.
Or maybe there are more tiles on the floor when you look at the bottom.
What is the difference? The PlayStation 5 Pro either looks the same or worse.
It's like, this is like it's a silver bullet.
Like, again.
I'm honestly done. I actually gotta get off, guys. But Phoenix, I'm gonna, you know that thing that we were planning on doing today? About 3 to 4 hours from now, we'll do it.
Like, this is just awful. What are the comments?
And Rift, I hope you're up by then.
Huh?
See you guys.
Yeah, see you, dude. Hello. Oh, I love this game called Find the Difference.
Like the PS5 Pro, find the difference. You can't find a difference in it. I have a friend that has. Well, I have a friend that was.
Oh my god,
PS5
52
like,
FPS
no,
versus 50 on the base. That's absolutely amazing. I'm definitely buying this now. Holy shit. Can we actually see what it looks like when it's like swinging? Like,
I don't know if you want to see how it looks like when it's swinging. Because, like,
just looks
I mean, in the
awful.
trailer
Like,
that
come
Insomniac
on.
happened to come out with, it seems like they did have it set for swinging. But there's literally no difference.
Again, what is the difference between these fucking images? Oh, hold on. We may have swinging. Okay, so this is PlayStation 5 Fidelity versus PlayStation 5 Pro.
It doesn't.
What the fuck's the difference? Oh, hold on. Hang on. Let me just zoom. Let me just hyperfixate on that. PlayStation 5 Pro is worse. 29 versus 30. PlayStation 5 Pro is worse. Mic drop. It's not worse by much, admittedly, but it's still worse, and it's over $200 more. See, watching this just makes me... I can't wait for this game to come to PC, because playing this at, like, a smooth 60 FPS would actually be fucking awesome. Like, this is such a good game, but it's just... It's held back by the hardware.
Or at least 120 FPS. If you really think about it.
Yeah, if I could get it even higher, that'd be awesome.
Actually, what would happen if you get it to the point where you're at max, to the point where the PC just crashes?
I'd turn it down. Once again, there's like barely any difference between them. What's the point? There's none.
There really isn't no point. It's literally just there just to be there. And the amount of people that are getting a PS5 Pro, I only have one question. Why?
Fuck me. Have you noticed this? So they're all on the fidelity modes. The PlayStation 5 is better than the PlayStation 5 Pro. Holy shit. Chelsea, I agree with you, my darling. This truly is just embarrassing.
Yeah, but like we're having to buy it. Or at least people want
I just want to ask a very clear
No.
question. Who would stand on top of a building looking at the reflection of a car passing by on the street? They must be an idiot. Most
They have to
useless
be able to do
console
that.
upgrade ever. Hang on, if
I mean,
you
they have
zoom
to
in
be
very
able to do
closely,
that.
you might be able to see the textures are slightly better, and only for $700.
No.
I'll just wait for Spider-Man 2 remastered on the PlayStation 6. Oh, Jesus.
What?
I mean, it's their choice. I know, but it's a very expensive choice, and for not much better. But, oh my good god. I have no comment.
It's very pointless on why you want to have a PS5 Pro, but when you can do everything that you want on a
It just, some people have money to waste, unlike broke me. Well, like, if you buy a PC, you wouldn't have to waste money. You'd actually be saving money in the long term. I just don't get why people justify this. Like, what? And there's nothing wrong with being broke. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Like, I've literally
it's a risk.
Huh?
Like, how are you doing after seeing that? Like,
it just makes me. It's so funny when you have like that AI woman be like, "Oh, this is wake up. PlayStation is the place to be. The PlayStation 5 Pro is better than like a gaming PC." It's like you're getting like a couple of FPS more, and like no graphic changes. Like, who cares? Like, this is the most obvious scam ever, and people are just going with it. I've just no clue. Oh yeah, the fucking election.
I mean, hey, they want to go with
People
it.
are so fucking mad that Trump won. Lol. Oh dear.
At this point, they're just gonna go with it though, because it's like, oh well, it's like they're going with it. They're gonna go with it.
I just find it funny that that Americans are quite literally willing to vote for a convict rather than a woman. Like that's just... It's so depressing, but it is what it is. You voted for him. Like, I'm not saying you specifically, Phoenix, but like...
Yeah, it's just weird.
I just find it's just a sheer indictment of the times that people are willing to do that.
And it's like, whoa!
Just like, would you rather vote for a white man? Well, he may have been white at one point. He's pretty much a Satsuma at this point. Would you rather vote for a Satsuma or a woman? People voted for the Satsuma. It's just fucking depressing, but it is what it is. You voted for him. Oh god, hey, my Sonic video is blowing up. Nice. Yeah, anyways though guys, this is where I'm gonna call it a day for today. You guys have been very lucky, basically looking at Puffer the entire stream. So, maybe I'll do more streams like that, where it's just Puffer camera. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining. I'm going to be going back to... I could crotch it at Puffer or a girlfriend. What do you mean? The fuck do you mean by that? Puffer doesn't need a girlfriend. Sigma fish.
Give him a female Puffer.
Sigma fish.
Female Puffer.
You don't need... He don't... What the fuck is a crotchet? What are you on about? What did you say that's so wrong? Huh? Happy birthday, Nikos, by the way. I hope you've had I hope that these questionable PlayStation 5 takes have convinced you to not get a PlayStation 5 Pro for your birthday.
Rift. Okay, so basically it's a female. So basically it's another version of Puffer.
Oh.
Just with fin.
Puffer has fins. You're so dumb.
Where?
How am I dumb? What have I done?
Also, I'll be right back again.
You're getting Black Ops 6? That's nice. But yeah, he's chilling right now. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. You've had an entire stream with the fins. Maybe I'll do more streams like that where it's a Puffer camera. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you all next week. Take care.